I woke up flat on top of a very angry naked woman who was yelling at me to get off her belly. Great start. Turns out I'm 80 years old and dead. Except now I'm not. I'm back in 1981, and this fierce lady with the mile-long legs is Zhao Chunyan, wife number 3. We finished our divorce 3 days ago. What were we doing in bed? Divorce fireworks, apparently. Don't ask. She grabbed scissors and tried to unman me, so I ran. Smart move. Warn her she's naked first, then flee. You're welcome, honey. Standing in this mud brick shack, the truth hit me like her foot hit my ribs. Past me was a world-class idiot. Zhao Chunyan. Gorgeous, fierce, and later builds a 100-restaurant empire, and I divorced her. My first wife, Lin Wanqiao. Gentle, sweet, saved by me, stayed and cared for my whole family even after I dumped her for having a daughter. I slapped myself. I deserved it. Then Mom burst in soaked and panicked. My second wife, Siyue, he went to town selling firecrackers and vanished. And I remember exactly what happens next. Thugs, a brick kiln, a shattered mind, a well. Not this time. So here I go, sobbing into a thunderstorm, sprinting down a mud road that's basically soup, screaming promises at the rain. New life. New me. Nobody's getting hurt. Move, mud. I sprinted through that rainstorm like a madman. Face planted in the mud. Got a mouthful of dirt soup. 0 stars. Do not recommend. But I got back up and kept running. Every second counted because I remembered exactly what those scumbags did to Yuhi in my past life, and there was no way I was letting that happen again. Crashed through a cornfield, found the old brick kiln, and heard her screaming. 2 lowlifes in ratty jackets were cornering my second wife. So I grabbed half a brick and introduced it to the first guy's forehead. Bonk. Good night, buddy. The second one pulled a switchblade. Cute. So I dodged, grabbed his wrist, and smashed his arm with the brick. Bones go crack, knife goes clang, thug goes flying into a pile of old bricks. Scram. They scrambled. Carried Yuhi home in the rain like a hero. Did anyone thank me? Mom beat my legs with a broom. If you weren't such a lazy bum, this wouldn't have happened. Fair point, honestly. Breakfast was depressing. Watery corn porridge so thin I could see my own reflection judging me. Rock-hard black bread. Salty mystery pickles. My 3 kids sat down, and when I tried to pat my sick little boy's back, my oldest daughter jumped up like a bodyguard. Bad man. Don't touch my brother. My youngest clung to her mom like I was a monster. Because old me basically was one. I used to smack them around for not being good enough. Daughters were money losers. My son was too sickly. Grade A parenting right there. I wanted to cry. Instead I said, you're right. I am the bad guy. But I'm gonna change. Everyone stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Then I had a genius idea. Family starving? Kids are skin and bones. Wife's got a fever? Time to hunt. I dug out Dad's old rusty shotgun, found some bullets that weren't soggy, threw it over my shoulder, and marched out. Mom yelled. Wife 3 hollered. That gun hasn't been fired in years. You'll blow yourself up, and we'll have to carry you home. Heartwarming support, as always. I headed for Big Lou Mountain. Deep woods. Supposedly there's tigers, bears, and maybe even. Yeah, this should go great. I was marching into Big Lou Mountain with a rusty shotgun and the survival skills of a reborn 80-year-old man trapped in a young body. The old village rule? Don't go past 3 Mile Slope or you'll die. Apparently wild men live in there. Bigfoot's Chinese cousin, I guess. Did I care? Nope. Past me had spent decades abroad at fancy hunting ranges. My aim was so good that even lonely housewives complimented my accuracy. Don't think about that too hard. Then something weird happened. A red glowing mist appeared in front of me, like a supernatural GPS. It moved when I moved, stopped when I stopped. Was I hallucinating? Probably. Did I follow it anyway? Obviously. What's the worst that could happen in a forest full of tigers? The red mist led me to a clearing where 2 wolves were trying to eat a pangolin. The pangolin's strategy was brilliant. Curl into an armored ball and just vibe. The wolves kept biting and hurting their own teeth. Respect, little tank dude. But I needed that pangolin. 10 pounds of meat plus medicinal scales. That's a jackpot for a family running on see-through porridge. I climbed a tree, channeled my inner sniper, and bang, Wolf 1 dropped like a sack of potatoes. Wolf 2 looked around confused. Before she figured it out, bang, down she went. 2 shots, 2 wolves, 5 seconds. I'm basically John Wick with straw sandals. The pangolin panicked and started rolling away like a little armored bowling ball. Surprisingly fast, too. I aimed for the soft belly gap and bang. Sorry, buddy. I squatted next to the dying pangolin and gave him a proper eulogy. Brother pangolin, nothing personal. My 3 kids look like bean sprouts. My 3 ex-wives can't remember what meat tastes like, and my mom wants to beat me to death with a broom. Next life, don't be a pangolin. Everybody wants a piece of you. Then I finished the job. R.I.P., armored homie. The wolves were too heavy to carry, 150 pounds combined, so I buried them under leaves, carved a marker on a tree, grabbed Mr. Pangolin, and headed home. Got back after dark. Lin Wanchio was waiting outside on a stone mill, half asleep, hugging her knees. She'd been worried about the gun exploding in my face. When she saw the pangolin, her jaw hit the floor. You actually caught something? Also, there's 2 dead wolves buried on the mountain. Her voice cracked. Mom came running out. Wife 3 stumbled out with bedhead and her signature attitude already locked and loaded. Empty-handed, right? I knew. Then she saw the pangolin. Her mouth stayed open, but the insult just evaporated. Mom poked my chest repeatedly, face screaming, "What sorcery is this?" And Chunyin? After 10 full seconds of staring, she managed. "Did you steal it?" Classic. I dropped the pangolin in the kitchen and headed back out to find help carrying the wolves before some other animal dragged them off. Behind me, 3 women stood in the yard looking at each other like they'd just seen a ghost. Mom muttered, "This fool really did eat the wrong medicine today." And somewhere behind a closing door, I'm pretty sure I heard Chunyin whisper to herself, "2 wolves. By himself? Yeah, ladies. By myself. The new me is here." I needed help carrying 150 pounds of dead wolf. So naturally, I went to my best buddy Har's house. Har, real name Fan Jinxing, fell out of a tree as a kid and scrambled his brain a little. He's slow, but he's loyal as a golden retriever and built like a tank. Love that guy. I knocked on his door at stupid o'clock. He opened up shirtless and sleepy. "Bro, my parents are fighting again. Mom keeps screaming and Dad won't stop." Yeah, they weren't fighting. But Har didn't need to know that yet. When I saw him standing there on 2 perfectly good legs, I almost lost it. In my past life, this beautiful idiot got his legs smashed to pieces by gangsters trying to protect me. Spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair, and the first thing he said after was, "Bro, you okay though?" I grabbed him in a bear hug, so tight he squeaked. "Bro, why are you crying? Did your mom beat you? Did your wife kick you off the bed again?" "Shut up. Your legs look great. Thanks. I use them every day." I told him there was meat involved. His eyes lit up like Christmas. Didn't ask a single question. Just grabbed a carrying pole and rope, whispered, "Mom and Dad are busy, they won't notice," and we disappeared into the mountain. We found the wolves right where I buried them. Har sat down so hard his butt bounced. "Bro, they're real. Are they dead?" I promised him they were extremely dead, and we strapped them up. Back in the village, I took everything to Har's dad, Uncle Xuanju. Har ran inside screaming, "Dad, stop hitting Mom. Come see the wolves." There was a loud thud. Then Uncle Xuanju came stumbling out holding up his pants, absolutely furious. "You little." I was in the middle of. "You scared me so bad I nearly. I'll kill you." Then he saw the wolves. Mouth shut, eyes wide. Touched the fur. Touched it again. Looked at me like I was an alien. I offered him a deal. Help me sell the meat. Keep 3 pounds for his family plus 2 yuan for the trouble. He slapped his thigh so hard I heard it echo. Deal. Uncle Xuanju set up a janky table in the alley and started hollering like a human air raid siren. "Wolf meat. Fresh wolf meat. Come and get strong." In 1981 rural China, nobody had entertainment. Nobody had meat. So when people heard wolf meat at dawn, the whole village came pouring out in their pajamas. Even the newlywed couples who were busy doing their morning exercises crawled out of bed to come look. "Xuanju, is this real wolf, or did you skin somebody's dead dog?" He sliced it open. "Definitely wolf." "Who killed them?" "Liu Bei. Liubi. That good for nothing. The guy who only knows how to steal chickens." And then my boy Har, bless his damaged little brain, decided to help by announcing loudly, "Yeah. While my bro was killing wolves on the mountain, my dad was at home beating my Mom." Dead silence. Some village smart aleck grinned. "Oh yeah? How exactly was your dad beating her?" Uncle Xuanju lunged to cover Hada's mouth. Too late. Har, with the innocent confidence of a child narrating a nature documentary, demonstrated with hand gestures. Mom was on all fours on the bed. Dad was behind her slapping her, but real hard, and she kept yelling weird stuff. I think he hit her so hard she went crazy. The entire village exploded. Women were crying with laughter. Old ladies were pointing at Uncle Xuanju's beet-red face, wheezing. Still got it. Old man. Uncle Xuanju's face turned the color of raw liver. He smacked Horror upside the head. Shut up. Shut up. But I saw it. With my own eyes. I laughed so hard I spit. Some things never change. Horror, you magnificent disaster. The wolf meat sold out faster than concert tickets. 1 yuan per pound. Cheaper than pork at the government store, and no ration ticket needed. People swarmed like zombies smelling brains. Bones included. Samantha bought the skeleton for 2 cents to make soup for her husband's back. Sure, lady. His back. Final count, 105 yuan. In 1981 money, that's like finding a suitcase full of cash. I gave Uncle Xuanju 10 yuan plus his 3 pounds of meat. He looked at me like I'd transformed into a different species. Liu Bei, if you keep this up, forget your 3 wives. Even Widow Li from East Village will come knocking. Thanks, Uncle. Real classy. Then Hodder grabbed my arm and whispered, Bro, next time we go hunting, let me tell you exactly how my dad was hitting my mom. I watched really carefully. His position was, I slapped my hand over his mouth so fast I nearly dislocated my shoulder. Horror. Never. Speak. Of. This. Again. But why? It's just fighting. Reasoning with this man is harder than killing wolves. So I played my ace. Say it again, and you're banned from hunting trips. His mouth snapped shut like a clam. Problem solved. Got home exhausted. Hadn't slept all night. Stumbled to a door, collapsed into bed, snuggled into the warm blankets, and grabbed something soft, smooth, and very warm. Wham. Kicked off the bed. Again. Liu Bei, you animal. We just did it yesterday, and you're back for more? Wrong room. I'd walked into Chuanyan's bedroom. In my defense, all the doors looked the same, and I was basically sleepwalking. I apologized and left immediately. And here's the thing. She was actually confused that I left. Apparently old me never left when he, accidentally, wandered into her room. She sat there thinking, you want to grope me? Fine. But don't divorce me first, you jerk. If we were still married, you could do whatever weird positions you want. I wouldn't complain. But you left, and now you sneak into my bed? Pig. She pulled the blanket over her head and cursed herself to sleep. Complicated woman. Woke up later to the smell of meat. Real meat. Walked outside and immediately ran into my daughters. Little Nian, age 6, saw me and trembled like a bunny seeing a hawk. Dove behind her big sister and buried her face. Pan, age 8, whipped out a sharpened stick she'd hidden under a stool and pointed it at me like a tiny warrior. Stay back, bad man. Come closer, and I'll stab you. Her hand was shaking. The stick was wobbling everywhere. But she stood in front of her sister and didn't move 1 inch. Then I noticed the old scars on her little hands, from blocking her face when past me used to hit her. I wanted to die right there. I backed up, crouched down, tried to look small and harmless. Pan, you braided Nian's hair really pretty today. Stop pretending. I've heard that trick before. Fair enough. I walked away without pushing it. Behind me I heard her whisper, It's okay, Nian. The bad man's gone. My heart broke into approximately 1 million pieces. Made it to the kitchen where Mom was stewing the wolf meat for sick Yuhi. Did anyone praise me? No. Mom smacked me on the forehead. Where's the money? Did you gamble it away? Did you blow it somewhere? And Chunyan showed up right on cue with her greatest hit. Oh please, he didn't kill those wolves. Uncle Xuanju did. This faker just helped carry them so he could take credit. So pathetic. This is my life. I save a wife, kill 2 wolves, earn 105 yuan, bring home meat for the first time in forever, and my entire family thinks I'm either lying, gambling, or having a psychotic episode. New life, same respect level, 0. Money drama first. I handed Mom the 95 yuan. She counted it twice, eyes glowing like a dragon who found gold, and shoved it into her coat pocket. I'm keeping this, all of it. You? With money? Today it's in your pocket, tomorrow it's on a gambling table, day after it's in some widow's purse. She wasn't wrong. Past me was basically an ATM for bad decisions. I negotiated like my life depended on it, because it did, and managed to claw back 65 yuan. Mom's terms. Account for every penny. Miss one, I break your legs. Then she reminded me. 8 mouths to feed, genius. So I split it up. 12 yuan to Wanchio for her and Pompon's clothes. She tried to refuse because she's an angel. Mom overruled her. The kid's shoes have been talking for 2 days. You think I didn't notice the hole? 12 for you. Mom snatched it. I'll hold hers until she's better. 12 to Chunyan, who grabbed it instantly, zero hesitation, then roasted me. Don't think this pocket change makes you a provider. 100 yuan split 8 ways. That lasts what? A week. 29 yuan left. For medicine, shoes, supplies, and apparently a miracle. Then I dropped the bomb. No more firecracker factory work. That stuff explodes. He nearly got killed yesterday, and you're all handling gunpowder at home with children around. From now on, I provide for this family. 3 seconds of silence. Chunyin burst out laughing. You? Support us? If you can provide for this family, pigs can climb trees. Then she went full courtroom prosecutor on me. Laid out every crime of my past life in excruciating detail. Wanchio trusted you. You promised her the world. She gave you a daughter. You called the baby a money pit and threw dishes. He trusted you too. Gave you everything. Another daughter. You wouldn't even look at her. Divorced. Then me. I thought, 3 in a row? No way. I gave you a son. And you still weren't happy. Said he was too weak. Not your kind of seed. You actually said that. 3 women. All divorced. The village calls us Liu Bei's 3 second-hand goods behind our backs. You think I don't know? Then the kill shot. So you want to support this family? Do you even deserve to? That hit me like a truck full of truth. I looked around. Wanchio, silent, head down. Mom, not defending me. My son peeking at me with terrified eyes. Little Nian hiding in her sister's arms. And Pampan, 8 years old, staring at me with eyes colder than a freezer. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. That stare was worse than everything Chunyan said combined. I couldn't argue. I had zero right to argue. You don't erase a lifetime of garbage with 2 dead wolves. Mom saved me. He's right. He doesn't deserve it. Now stop standing there and go process that pangolin. Bless that woman. If she hadn't cut in, Chunyan had enough material for another hour. So there I was, squatting in the corner scraping pangolin scales into a cracked bowl. Medicinal gold, those scales, when Wanchio walked over with warm water. Sweet, right? Then she dropped this. Did you sneak into Chunyan's room again this morning? I walked into the wrong door. I was half dead from exhaustion. You're divorced. Sneaking into an ex-wife's bedroom is technically a crime. The police could arrest you. Then what happens to Mom? The kids? I looked at her. She squirmed. And then, I have no idea what possessed me. Instead of saying, thank you, like a normal grateful human, my mouth went rogue. Wanchio, are you jealous? How about I sleep in your room tonight? She reached over and pinched my inner thigh. Hard. The inner thigh. Then stormed off. I try to help you, and you act like a clown. Forget it. I sat there stunned, rubbing my leg, thinking, of all the places to pinch. The inner thigh? Right next to the equipment? Is wife number 1 jealous? Because that pinch placement was suspicious. The pangolin meat got handed off to the kitchen, and suddenly my 4 women turned into a Michelin star brigade. Mom on the walk, Wanchio on fire duty, Chunyin chopping vegetables. 3 ex-wives and my mother crammed into a kitchen the size of a closet, cooking in perfect harmony. Meanwhile I, the man of the house, was banished to the roof to fix tiles like a human pigeon. Then came the moment that wrecked me. Pampan, my 8-year-old daughter, the one who points sharpened sticks at me, walked into the kitchen. She looked at all that meat, swallowed hard, and said, Grandma, little brother likes stir-fry. Little sister likes sweet braised. Can you make them separate? Not one word about what Isachi wanted. She's 8, growing like a weed, hasn't tasted meat in months. And her first thought is her siblings. Grandma's eyes went red. What about you, Pampan? I'll eat whatever's left. I swear something inside me just shattered. This kid should hate the world. Instead, she's out here being more of a parent than I ever was. Mom made 3 separate dishes, spicy stir-fry for Pampan, braised for Nien, plain for sickly little Bao. Each kid gets their own plate. In 1981, that's basically a royal banquet. Dinner time came, and everyone squeezed around the table. 7 people, 4 benches, packed tight. No seat for me. Where do I sit? Dead silence. Then Pampan, cold as winter. Bad people don't deserve to sit with us. She was right. Past me used to slap her across the face at this very table just for taking an extra bite of food. Once I knocked her bowl clean across the room. Mom broke the silence. Scoop some food, grab your corn mush, and go squat somewhere. You're an eyesore. So there I was, squatting under the eaves, eating alone, back turned to my family, listening to my kids inside fighting over who could shove more meat onto Grandma's plate. Grandma, eat this big piece. Grandma, you eat. Grandma is the boss of this house. If Grandma doesn't eat, nobody eats. 3 tiny voices, unanimous. My heart was simultaneously melting and being stabbed. Then a hand appeared from the side. A bowl of hot pangolin meat. Wanchio, looking everywhere except at me. Saved you some. Eat it while it's warm. Then she walked away like nothing happened. This woman, I divorced her for having a daughter, and she's still sneaking me meat. I promised her, Wanchio, I'll make sure you all eat meat every single day. Chunyin materialized instantly. She has bat-level hearing for my dumb promises. Every day? Sure, big talker. How about less mouth train and more actual wheels turning? You can't deliver? Then you don't deserve the last name Liu. Then Mom came out with the final mission. Yui's fever went down a little from the pangolin soup, but she's weak and on her period. Go catch eels and loaches from the rice paddies. They're good for blood. Oh, and she paused for dramatic effect. Come back empty-handed? Don't come back at all. Cool. Great. No pressure. Just another impossible errand from the woman who controls my money, my dignity, and my right to exist in this household. Off I go. I was halfway down the road when my brain hit me with a memory bomb. In my past life, Yui had gynecological problems her entire life. Why? Because in 1981, rural women handled their periods with a cloth bag stuffed with rough paper, tied around their waist. Basically medieval technology. The first sanitary pad factory in China doesn't exist until 1982. There are imported ones at the town store, 7 cents a pack, but that's a pound of cornmeal money, so nobody buys them. I turned around and sprinted home. Chunyin exploded on sight. Didn't I call it? Your son talks big and walks small. He's been gone 10 minutes, and he's already back. Where's the eels? Let me guess. He found a nice tree and took it NAP. Mom poked her head out, saw me empty-handed, and her face just collapsed. She didn't even yell. She was tired of yelling. That hurt worse. I forgot the traps. And I need to talk to Yuhi. I grabbed my gear from the shed, then headed to Yuhi's room. Chunyin followed me like a suspicious detective. Yuhi was propped up in bed, pale, sweaty, still scared of me. When she saw I'd come in, she shrank back against the wall. Couldn't blame her. Every time past me was nice, a slap always followed. Then I did the dumbest thing possible. I reached into her blanket, into her waistband. Yuhi froze like a statue. Brain, offline. Chunyin needed exactly 0.5 seconds to process this. Liubi, you absolute animal. She grabbed the broom and swung it at my back like a baseball bat. In broad daylight. In front of my face. She has a fever. You're not human. You're a beast. I'll kill you. I caught the broom handle mid-swing. She kicked. I held on. She threatened to rip off my equipment and feed it to the pigs. Standard Tuesday with Chunyin. Listen to me. I was checking what she's using for her period. Dead silence. It's a cloth bag with rough paper. Right? Yuhi's face went from red to purple. Chunyin stood there holding the broom, brain rebooting. Bull, you stuck your hand down her pants, and now you say you were checking? You couldn't just ask? You had to use your hand. Okay. She had a point there. But if I'd asked, hey, what's in your underwear? Chunyin would have killed me even faster. I explained. That cloth and paper setup is unsanitary, probably why Yuhi keeps getting sick. I promised to buy real sanitary pads for all 3 of them. Chunyin paused. You can afford that. I'll make the money. If I don't deliver, let lightning strike me. She threw down the broom and stormed out. Then came back, stuck her head through the door crack, and told Yuhi, if he touches you again, scream. I'll end him. Slam. After she left, Yuhi peeked at me over her blanket with red eyes, clearly thinking, yeah, right. You never cared if I was cold, sick, or hurting. But now you care about my underwear? I apologized, told her to rest, and left. Outside, Hunter ambushed me. Half the village wanted to go wolf hunting now. I told him not today. I needed to catch eels because my wife was on her period. Period? What's a period? It's When Auntie Flo visits, Hotta's face scrunched up like crumpled paper. Auntie Flo? She came to visit third sister-in-law? From where? Did she take the ox cart or walk? You'll understand when you get married. Horror slapped his thigh. OH. So when you get married, Auntie Flo comes to visit, and you catch eels to serve her. Got it. When I get a wife and Auntie Flo shows up, I'll catch eels too. I'll make sure Auntie Flo eats so well she'll definitely want to come back next month. He pumped his fist. Auntie Flo will say, "This young man catches great eels." Impressive. Something about the way he said great eels, combined with Auntie Flo, made it sound deeply, horrifyingly wrong, but I couldn't even begin to explain why. I grabbed his arm and dragged him toward the rice paddies before he could say anything else. Bro, slow down. Auntie Flo isn't going anywhere. Meanwhile, back at the house, Chun-Yin was leaning against the gate watching me disappear. She'd seen those imported pads at the town store once. Reached for a pack, saw the price, pulled her hand back. She never imagined that Liu Bei, useless, gambling, wife-divorcing Liu Bei, would even notice what women use for their periods. She bit her lip, went inside, looked back one more time toward the empty alley, and muttered, "Psycho." Horror and I hit the irrigation ditches, and my magical red dot vision kicked in again. Except this time, instead of one glowing trail, there were dozens of red dots scattered everywhere under the mud, like an underwater Christmas tree. Each dot, an eel hiding in its little mud apartment. Horror was skeptical. "Bro, my dad says eels only come out at night. He squats in the dark for hours, gets 5 eels and 30 leech bites. Mom says his legs look like spotted pancakes and he should just buy salted fish instead." I ignored him, found a coin-sized hole in the mud, dipped in my bamboo tongs, and tapped the water surface twice with my fingers. 3 seconds. A fat yellowhead popped out. Clamp. Eel number 1. Hotta's jaw nearly fell into the rice paddy. You tapped the water, and it just came out. Eels think vibrations are bugs landing on the water. Basic biology. My dad never taught me that. Your dad was busy fighting your mom. I went full assembly line. Find hole. Tap water. Wait 3 seconds. Clamp. Toss. 10 seconds per eel. Horror started counting on his fingers. By eel 15, he ran out of fingers and started pulling off his shoes to use his toes. Then I spotted something in a rock crack, not a red dot, a snake. I poked it with a stick, it shot out hissing, and I grabbed it behind the head barehanded. Horror fell backwards into the paddy, pants soaked, mouth wide enough to park an egg inside. "Bro, you're not human." 2 hours later, 40 eels, half a basket of loaches, 3 water snakes, for lizards, a dozen frogs, and 2 fish totaling 5 pounds. The basket was overflowing. Horror, run home and get more baskets. How many? 5. 5? How much more are you catching? Everything. Extra goes to your family. Your dad helped me sell the wolves. Horror sprinted home so fast his wet pants were flapping like flags. His dad Xuanju was smoking his pipe in the yard. "Dad, baskets." 5. "What for?" "Bro's basket is full. Eels, loaches, snakes, frogs, fish." Xuanju's pipe froze midair. "In the daytime?" "How many eels?" "The basket is full, Dad. You catch 10 on a good night." Bro caught 40 in 2 hours. In daylight. Never missed once. Xuanju handed over the basket silently. As Horror ran off, his dad called after him. "Son, watch him closely. Learn. If you pick up half his skill, I'll die happy." We worked until dark. 6 baskets. All full. 60 plus eels, mountains of loaches, snakes, lizards, frogs, fish. A biblical harvest. Hawker was flat on his back on the ridge, grinning like it was New Year. "Bro, I've never seen this many eels in my life. If my dad finds out, he'll chew his pipe in half." Then I let him try. First attempt. Tapped too hard, scared the eel back down. Second attempt. Eel poked its head out. Horror slammed the tongs so fast he missed completely. Third try. Nice and gentle. "Clamp, bro. I got one." He held that eel up like an Olympic gold medal and screamed to the heavens. "When I get a wife and her Auntie Flo comes to visit, I'm gonna serve her ELS. I'll make sure Auntie Flo eats so good she'll want to come every month." I stared at him. He still thought Auntie Flo was a literal aunt who visits and eats eels, and now he wanted to serve her eels. Entertain Auntie Flo with eels. Make sure the eels go in So anti-flow is satisfied. The mental image that created eels plus anti-flow plus make sure she's satisfied. No, no, I am not going there. Some thoughts need to be deleted from the brain permanently. This man must never be allowed to say eels and anti-flow in the same sentence ever again. Hodder practiced catching eels until the moon came out. His success rate? About 30%. But he was thrilled. 23 eels. His personal record. Then he collapsed on the grass like a dead starfish. Next thing I know, a thick arm wraps around my waist from behind. Horror, eyes closed, smiling. So comfy. Every hair on my body stood up. Get OFF me. But bro, I don't have a wife. Then earn money and get one. His eyes lit up like fireworks. Bro, I'll work with you. And when I get a wife, you can teach me how to make babies. You. Don't know how. I only saw my dad hitting my mom's, but that one time. But I don't think that's how babies work. You married 3 beautiful women and made 3 kids, so you're obviously an expert. On my wedding night, you can just stand next to the bed and coach me through it. Stop. I physically covered his mouth. He wanted me to be his bedside play-by-play commentator. On his wedding night, standing right there, giving instructions like a football coach. If you ever say that to anyone, I will ynd you. He nodded obediently under my hand, still not understanding why it was weird. We fell asleep back to back under the stars. Frogs croaking, village lights dying out, people doing their nightly activities. Next morning before dawn, I snuck home to grab the wolf skins and pangolin scales. But then, a scream from the outhouse. Yui's voice. My brain went straight to, someone's peeping at my wife. I sprinted over ready to murder somebody. False alarm. She'd squatted too long. Her legs went numb, and she fell over. I helped her up. Normal, right? Except, her pants slid down because her belt was loose. I saw things. White things. Very nice things. I may have stared for a moment. Then Chunyin arrived like a guided missile. She saw me holding Yui's pants at her knees, and my eyeballs pointing downward. Lu, Bei, you, animal, she swung a stick at me. I caught it midair. Her legs went numb. She fell. I was helping. The pants slipped by themselves. By themselves? Then why are your dog eyes still looking? You were clearly taking advantage. This is attempted murder of your husband. You're not my husband anymore. I grabbed the wolf skins and pangolin scales and vaulted over the wall to escape. Behind me. Liubei, get back here. Later, after I was long gone, Yui quietly told the other women what actually happened. Wanchio sighed with relief. Mom clutched her chest. Chunyin still wasn't satisfied. Even if it was an accident, he saw what he shouldn't have. From now on, bolt the outhouse door or that animal will pop up again. But here's the thing nobody noticed. As they walked Yui back inside, her ears were burning crimson. And she was remembering that when I held her arms. My hands were very steady, very warm, very different from before. Meanwhile, I arrived at the rice paddy, face bright red. Bro, why's your face red? It's hot. Shut up. Let's go to town. At the market, my mystery vision changed again. Not red dots this time, purple ones. Scattered across the storefronts on the east side of the market. Some dark purple, some light. Red means prey, so purple means money, business opportunity. The darker the dot, the better the deal. Only one way to find out. First purpled, a seafood shop run by a woman in her 30s. Tight floral blouse, red lips, and a chest situation that could stop traffic. Har saw her and froze. His eyes drifted south of her face and parked. Drool forming. I walked up and quoted my prices. She lowballed me hard. 1 yuan for eels when the retail price is 2. Take it or leave it. I turned to leave and tried to drag Har with me. He wouldn't budge. Still staring at her. Personality. Smack. Back of his head. Stop looking. The prettier the woman, the darker her heart. She noticed Har gawking and, instead of getting mad, gave him a flirty wink. Hey handsome, selling what's in your basket. I physically dragged him away before his brain completely shut down. Bro, that lady was so pretty. Quiet. I hauled him to the next shop because that purple dot was even deeper than the first one. Whatever was in there was going to be even more tempting. The next shop had a middle-aged dude who actually knew what things were worth. His prices were nearly double the scam queen's. Eels at 2.80, snakes at $3, everything fair. My purple dot vision was confirmed. Deeper purple equals better deal. Lighter purple equals they're robbing you with a smile. Final tally. 108 yuan for my haul, 23 yuan for Hives. The big guy counted his money 3 times with shaking hands. Bro, this is more than my dad makes in a month squatting by a fish pond. On the way out, I couldn't resist. I waved my fat stack at the pretty scam lady next door and pointed at her chest. Sister, your heart is really dark in there. Maybe put some powder on it. Black isn't a good look. Her face turned the color of a thundercloud. She crushed her sunflower seeds into dust, but couldn't say anything because the whole market was watching. Beautiful. Sold the wolf skins for 70 yuan. Pangolin scales for 5. Grand total in my pocket, 212 yuan. I felt rich. Then came the supply run. At the government store, I walked up to the counter and said the words no man in 1981 rural China has ever said out loud. Comrade, do you have sanitary pads? The 50-year-old saleswoman looked at me like I'd grown antlers. A grown man buying these. For my wife? Oh, for your wife. I thought maybe they were for you. Hodder stuck his giant head over my shoulder. Bro, what are those? Is that stuff for entertaining any flow? I shoved his face away. Out. Wait outside. Shopping list. 6 packs of pads. 3 pairs of tiny plastic sandals. Red, yellow, blue. 1 per kid. White rabbit candy, brown sugar, rice, salt, soy sauce, spices. Then the pharmacy. Cough syrup for my sick son. Fever medicine for Yuhi. Iron pills, herbal tonics. Total damage. 105 yuan spent, 105 left. Haru slapped his thigh on the walk home. Bro, the sisters-in-law are gonna be so happy. Especially about the anti-flow entertainment supplies. Mention anti-flow one more time, and I throw you in the ditch. Then we got home and walked into a nightmare. 4 men were standing in my yard. The leader, Wang Matzi, the town loan shark. Pockmarked face, ugly shirt, holding a yellowed IOU with my signature on it. Past me had gambled away everything at this scumbag's table and owed him 100 yuan. Behind him, 3 goons with wooden clubs. And my family. Chunyin was standing at the doorway holding a cleaver, shielding Yuhi and Wancho behind her. Mom was being blocked by a thug, shaking with rage. My 3 kids were pressed against Wancho's legs, little Nyan sobbing, baby Bao terrified. And Pampan, 8 years old, not crying, face white as paper, standing in front of her siblings, holding her sharpened stick. This little girl who's terrified of me was ready to fight grown men for her family. Wang Matzi was licking his lips at my wives. Can't pay? Fine. Let me borrow one of these ladies for 3 months. We'll call it even. Touch one finger, and I'll chop it off. Chunyin screamed, waving the cleaver. That's when I walked in. Something inside me went ice cold. Wang Matzi, you dare touch my women? You want to die? He smirked. Oh, the deadbeat returns. 100 yuan. Pay up or pay your MOM. I grabbed his wrist, bent it backwards. He screamed. Then his 3 goons charged. I dodged the first club, punched goon number 1 in the temple. Down. Kicked goon 2 in the gut so hard he flew into our water tank and smashed it. Goon 3 saw all this, froze in terror, and I kicked him down too. 7 seconds. 3 unconscious thugs. Wang Matzi's face, buffering. I pulled out 100 yuan, counted it, and threw it in his face. Paid. In. Full. Give me the IOU. He handed it over with trembling hands. I tore it into confetti right in front of him. Then I picked up one of their wooden clubs and snapped it in half with my bare hands. Come to my house again? I break your legs instead. Wang Matzi grabbed his money, grabbed his broken goons, and crawled out of my yard. The yard went dead silent. My family stared at me like they'd never seen me before. Because they hadn't. Not this me. Everyone in the yard was frozen like somebody hit the pause button. Mom, 3 wives, 3 kids, all staring at me like I'd just landed from outer space. I'd beaten up 4 guys in 7 seconds, and I wasn't even breathing hard. Former soldier, former bodyguard, remember? These clowns were nothing. Horror poked his head in. Bro, it's over already. Shut up and bring in the bags. I started unpacking like Santa Claus having a breakdown. 100 pounds of real white rice. Not that watery corn slop. Red sugar. Salt. Spices. Cough medicine for my son. Fever herbs for Yuhi. 3 pairs of brand new plastic sandals for the kids. Red, yellow, blue. 2 bags of white rabbit candy. And the grand finale, 6 packs of sanitary pads. I laid everything out on the ground like a market stall. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. The village chief showed up late with backup. Where's Wang Matsi? Gone. I handled it. Dot by yourself? Yep. He looked at the pile of supplies, looked at me, looked at Mom. Sister Day, your son has changed. You're a lucky woman. One of his guys literally couldn't stop staring at the white rabbit candy. His throat was bobbing up and down. He practically had to be dragged away. Mom made me account for every single penny. I explained everything. Horror backed me up enthusiastically. It's all true. Bro's eel technique is amazing, way better than my dad when he was hit. I glared at him. He swallowed the rest of that sentence like a rock. Mom walked over to the rice bag, touched the grains, rolled them between her fingers. Real white rice. Not cornmeal. Not black bread. Her eyes went red. She turned away and wiped them with her sleeve. Voice still hard as iron. Fine. It's not stolen. Stop standing around and move this stuff inside. You want flies? That's Mom language for, I'm crying happy tears, but I'd rather die than show it. Then came the sanitary pad ceremony. I walked to Yui first. Handed her 2 packs. Yours. Stop using those cloth bags. They're making you sick. Her 10 fingers were shaking so hard, she almost dropped them. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish. No words came out. I handed 2 packs to Wanchio. Yours. I get some too. You're my first wife. Of course. Then I turned toward the rice bags, deliberately walking past Chunyin. 3, 2, 1. Liubi, there it is. What about me? Yui gets some. Wanchio gets some. Why don't I? Music to my ears. I pulled out the last 2 packs and dangled them in front of her. I was waiting for you to ask. Her face went through 5 stages of realization. You did that on purpose, you jerk. She lunged for them. I held them over my head. She jumped on her tiptoes. I stepped back. She pounced. I lost my balance. Reached out to catch her waist so we wouldn't both eat dirt. Except my hand. Landed somewhere it should not have landed. We both froze. The whole yard froze. Chunyin looked down at my hand. Looked up at my face. Chunyin, I swear I didn't mean. Clap, 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 clap. Hotter burst into applause. Wow, bro. Are you guys wrestling? I want to play. Sister-in-law. Let me hug you next. I kicked him in the butt so hard he stumbled 3 steps forward. Did he get mad? No. He turned around grinning. Bro, that's selfish. You get to hug her, but nobody else can. One more word. I'm just saying. Your technique is way better than my dad's. When my dad smacks my mom's, but his form is nowhere near this smooth. Dead. Silence. Then Mom snorted. Wanchio turned away, shoulders shaking. Yuhi was so red she looked like she might catch fire. Chunyin's face cycled through red, purple, and finally nuclear. Fan HDR. Get out of my yard, Hodder bolted. At the gate he shouted back. BRO? Take your time with sister-in-law. No rush. I'll go ask my dad if he knows any other good positions. I threw a shoe at his head. Direct hit. Bro, what was that for? What did I say? Chunyin snatched her 2 packs and stormed inside. Touch me wrong again, and I'll remove your hands. Slam. Mom smacked the back of my head, standing there like an idiot. Where's the kid's stuff? I handed out the shoes while sneaking a glance at Chunyin's window. She was sitting on her bed, turning those 2 packs over and over, reading every word on the packaging. Then she shoved them under her pillow. Sat there. Lifted the pillow to check they were still there. Put it back down. Then she muttered, what kind of man buys sanitary pads? Shameless. Humph. She checked under the pillow one more time. Still there. Meanwhile, somewhere on the road to town, Wang Matsi was limping away with his busted goons, nursing his swollen wrist. He looked back toward my house with poison in his eyes. Liu Bei, you'll pay for this. Yeah? Take a number, buddy. Get in line behind my 3 ex-wives, my mom, and my 8-year-old daughter with the sharpened stick. They've been trying to kill me for days. I put the 3 pairs of sandals down in front of my kids like a peace offering. Red for Pampan, yellow for Nyen, blue for Bao. Pampan didn't even look at them. No, Nyen, hiding behind her sister. If Sissy says no, I say no. Little Bao stared at the blue pair for exactly 1 second, then yanked his feet back under the stool like the shoes might bite him. 3 brand new shoes. 3 kids. 0 takers. Then Pampan hit me with the kill shot. Today it's shoes. Tomorrow it's a beating. You gave Bao a Candyman once. The next day you dragged him off the bed and threw him outside because his coughing was annoying. She paused. It was snowing. Another pause. He had a fever for 3 days. I remembered. Past me, drunk, tossed a 4-year-old into the snow at night because coughing sounds were bothering his hangover. Wancho found the kid half frozen at midnight going to the outhouse. My 8-year-old daughter had just prosecuted me more effectively than any lawyer on earth. I had no defense. The jury, Mom, 3 wives, the universe, all agreed, guilty. Mom scooped up the shoes, collected the kids, and threw me a look that said, slow down. You can't undo years of garbage in one afternoon. I got it. Then from the backyard, a scream. Bauer, what's wrong? My son was choking. Not regular coughing. Full-on gasping. Face turning blue-purple, lips white, chest heaving like a tiny broken engine. Mom was crying, hands shaking. Chun-Yin came flying out, saw her son, went ghost white, and shoved him into my arms. What are you standing there for? I grabbed him and ran for the village clinic. But at the gate, Pan, arms spread wide, blocking my path like a tiny human barricade. Where are you taking my brother? The clinic. He needs a doctor. Liar. You're going to sell him for gambling money. The next village had a dad who did that. You think I'm stupid? She thought I was going to sell my own son. That's what past me's reputation had earned. This kid genuinely believed her father would trade her brother for poker chips. I crouched down to her eye level. Pan, I was a monster. I admit everything. But right now, your brother can't breathe. I'm taking him to the doctor. I promise I'll bring him back. She didn't move. Fine. Come with me. Watch the whole thing. If I do anything wrong, run home and tell Grandma. Tell your Chun-Yin mom. They can beat me to death. She looked at Bao's blue face. Made her decision. Deal. But if you trick me, run. I was already sprinting. She chased after me on her little legs. At the clinic, old Dr. Zhou gave Bao a shot, and in 4 drip. During the needle, my boy cried and grabbed my shirt collar. I held him and patted his back. Pan stood at the doorway the entire time, never crossing the threshold, never taking her eyes off me. Not watching her brother, watching me, making sure I didn't pull anything. After the drip, Bao's breathing calmed. The purple faded. He fell asleep, still gripping my collar with his tiny fist. On the walk home, Pan followed exactly 5 steps behind. Not one word. Just watching. Back home, I cooked. Made braised pangolin meat. Heavy on the sugar because the kids like sweet. Chun-Yin inspected the kitchen like a health inspector. Too much oil. Not salty enough. Cut smaller next time. Her mouth never stopped complaining. Her chopsticks never stopped eating. Still no seat for me at the table. Still squatting under the eaves with my bowl. But I watched them eat through the doorway. Nyen's eyes lit up. Bao managed 2 pieces with his porridge, and even Pan cleaned her plate while pretending not to enjoy it. Then, while I was washing dishes by the water tank, footsteps. Pan, standing 3 steps away, holding half a black bread bun. I'm full. This isn't for you. Just don't want to waste it. She dropped it on the ground without looking at me and walked away. I picked it up. There were 2 tiny teeth marks where she'd bitten off exactly half and stopped. She'd saved it. For me. Hard as a rock. Rough as sandpaper. Scraped my throat going down. Best thing I've ever tasted. Then, because this universe never lets me have a moment, some skinny guy from the village showed up at my gate. I recognized him. The dude who'd been eyeballing my white rabbit candy earlier. He squatted in front of me with a greasy smile. Hey brother, heard you've got money these days. The boys set up a card game tonight at old Joe's place. Everybody's asking about you. Want to come sit in? A gambling invitation. Right on schedule. Like clockwork. The old me would have been out that door before the sentence ended. The new me looked at this guy, looked at the half-eaten bun in my hand, and thought about 2 tiny teeth marks. The skinny candy starer from earlier showed up at my gate with a greasy smile and a crumpled cigarette. Brother Liu Bei, the boys got a card game going at old Joe's. Everyone's waiting for you. I couldn't remember his name until Chun-Yin stormed out and screamed it for me. Fanny Argiu, get out, Ergu. Nickname, 2 dogs. And suddenly my memory clicked like a loaded gun. This guy? This was the snake who'd slowly dragged past me into gambling hell. Started small, 50 cents, 1 yuan. Then bigger, until I was sitting at Wang Mozi's table losing my family's food money. Every catastrophe in my previous life had this weasel's fingerprints on it. He waved Chun-Yin off with a smirk. Sister-in-law, you and Liu Bei are divorced. What he does isn't really your business anymore, is it? Direct hit. Chun-Yin's face turned red. Her hand touched the stick by the door. then let go. He was technically right. She had no legal standing. She slammed her door shut without another word. That actually hurt to watch. Not going, I said. Two dogs thought he'd misheard. Huh. I quit gambling. Go by yourself. He stared at me for a long time, then laughed. Come on, bro. I know you. Drop the act. I'm not acting. Leave. His smile died. He leaned in close and went full blackmail mode. Remember that night you got drunk and told me everything about what you do in bed with your 3 wives? Every position, every sound. I've got details, brother. Either come play cards or share some of that white rabbit candy and rice. Otherwise, I start telling the whole village. Imagine how they'll look at your women then. He leaned back with a smug grin. I looked down. Didn't say a word. He thought I'd caved. Wham! I smashed a wooden bench across his shoulder. He hit the ground like a bag of garbage. Say it again. He scrambled up screaming, grabbed a stool, and swung at me. Adorable. In my past life, I'd wrestled wild boars in Africa and stared down lions in Siberia. This guy was moving in slow motion. I smashed his stool out of his hands and kicked him in the stomach so hard he folded like a shrimp. Out. He pointed at me from the ground with his one good arm. You'll regret this, Liu Bei. Then he crab-crawled out my gate. Standard exit for all my visitors today, apparently. Chunyin was the first one out. You're not going with him. I told you. I quit. We're done. If he shows up again, just beat him. She crossed her arms, eyes narrowed, full detective mode. You two planned this, didn't you? Good cop, bad cop. You pretend to go straight. We let our guard down. Then you sneak out and steal all our stuff for one big bet. You think I haven't seen this movie before? She wasn't crazy for thinking that. Past me had literally done this. Once I faked quitting for 2 weeks, waited until mom relaxed, stole 3 months of egg money, and went straight to the casino. So yeah, fair. You'll believe me eventually. Eventually? Who said anything about even 2? Footsteps outside. Chunyin whipped around triumphantly. Hear that? He said he cut ties with 2 dogs, and the guy's already back. Told you they're working together. Mom raised her hand to slap me. I actually thought you'd changed, you little bro. Bro. Horror burst through the gate. Everyone froze. Chunyin blinked. Oh, it's you. It's me. Full moon tonight. My dad says the mountain paths are bright. Let's go hunting. Chunyin's face went through several software updates. Night hunting? Are you both brain damaged? But inside, I was breathing the biggest sigh of relief in 2 lifetimes. Horror. My brother. My beautiful, stupid, perfectly timed brother. People say men have 3 types of ride-or-die friends. Guys you've gone to war with, guys you've peeked at the neighbor's wife bathing with, and guys you've done prison time with. Horror and I had the first 2 covered. And right now, that man's timing was worth more than gold. Hodder told me about 10 villagers planning a group hunting trip led by some guy named Fan Shibei. I did the math instantly. 10 people, 1 deer, everyone gets a bite-sized piece. Plus, this Fan Shibei character was apparently the village's #1 peeping Tom. Caught spying on women washing clothes. Almost ran into a tree fleeing from a widow's bathroom window. How starved do you have to be? Just the 3 of us, I told Horror. You, me, and your dad. No circus. Deal. He slapped his chest and sprinted home. Mom was worried. Night hunting? Mountains? In the dark? What if I fell? What if a tiger ate me? What if the gun exploded? I sat her down and laid out the family budget like a stressed-out accountant. Mom. I paid Wang Matzi 100 yuan today. Doctor visit for Bao, 5 yuan. We've got 8 mouths to feed. Rice costs money. Bao needs ongoing medicine. Yuhi's still recovering. Nian's shirt has 7 patches. I counted. And the firecracker work? Done. Too dangerous. I'm not letting you all touch gunpowder ever again. Then I dropped the Real bomb. Mom, I want to build us a new house. Dead silence. I pointed at everything wrong with our current dump. Windows with 3 holes. West wall cracked wide enough to stick a fist through. Roof tiles that crumble in your hands. Summer's fine. But winter? This place turns into a freezer. Bao's lungs can't survive another cold season in here. Mom's eyes drifted to the cracks, the broken tiles, then back to me. She mentioned Dad, how he'd always wanted to fix this house but died in a work accident before he could. Her voice cracked. She was scared I'd push too hard and end up like him. I hugged her tight. Mom, that's exactly why I need to do this. Dad wanted it his whole life and never got to. I'm his son. If I finish what he started, he'll rest easy. Right? She wiped her eyes with her sleeve, pretending something was in them. Fine, but don't kill yourself over it. Slow is okay. Then I leaned in and whispered my real master plan. Mom, think about it. I build a nice house. The 3 wives move in. They're happy. The kids see things getting better. They warm up to me. And then, maybe in a few years, a few more grandkids. Mom's eyes went wide. Then she burst out laughing and poked my forehead. You rascal. You finally got smart. Then she went full general. Listen, all 3 of those girls are good women. Don't play favorites. Lock all 3 down. Each one gives you 2 more kids. That's 6. Plus the 3 you've got. 9 grandchildren. The Liu family will dominate this village. 9 kids. She wanted 9. She was basically enrolling me in a breeding program. I'm not a man. I'm a stud horse. But honestly, I got it. Our family name is Liu in a village where 90% of people are named Fan. We're outsiders. Dad always said, on someone else's turf, you either get richer or get more numerous. We had neither, so we kept our heads down our whole lives. Mom remembered that. She wanted an army of grandchildren. I'll do my best, Mom. She nodded approvingly. Terrifying woman. I geared up, shotgun, ammo, lantern, rope, and headed for the gate. Chunyin blocked it. What were you whispering to Mom about? You'll find out later. I want to know now. Then it won't be a surprise. Who wants your surprises? Tell me. Okay, fine. I'll come to your room tonight after hunting and tell you real slow. Her face went through 17 colors. You, shameless. Who wants you in my room? Fine, don't tell me. And don't come home empty-handed. Slam. I watched her storm away and grinned. Just wait, spicy lady. Once I build that new house, we'll see how long that tough mouth of yours holds up. Because at night, I'm going to make that mouth real soft. Back at the house after I left, apparently there was a whole drama session. Wanxiu asked Chunyin why she didn't stop me from going night hunting. Chunyin's response? Me stop him? Who am I to him? He wants to die. Let him. But then she went to check on Sleeping Bao, found the cough syrup bottle I'd bought tucked under his blanket, and remembered how I'd sprinted to the doctor carrying him like my life depended on it. For exactly 0.3 seconds, she considered the possibility that I'd actually changed. Then she shook it off. Impossible. It's an act. Has to be. OLD me refuses to believe. Girl, denial isn't just a river in Egypt. Meanwhile, I met up with Uncle Xuanzhu and Harer at the old tree by the village entrance. Xuanzhu told me Fan Shibei's hunting party had grown to 17 people. 17. That's not a hunting trip. That's a parade. Every deer within 5 miles would hear them coming and file a noise complaint. Just us 3, I confirmed. We headed for the mountain and ran straight into the circus at the trailhead. 17 guys standing around smoking, talking loud, basically sending a written invitation to every animal within earshot. Dear wildlife, please evacuate. Sincerely, idiots. The ringleader, Fan Shibei. Late 20s, thick eyebrows, shiny gun, big attitude. Village peeping Tom extraordinaire. And the moment he saw me, his face twisted into the pettiest smirk I've ever seen. Well, Liu Bei, here to ride my coattails? Or just planning to scoop up whatever rabbits I leave behind so you can impress your 3 wives? His boys laughed. Zhao's 6 fingers piled on. Liu Bei's a genius. Does nothing, picks up leftovers, and still has 3 beautiful women at home. Meanwhile, us hard-working guys can't even get one. No justice, more laughter. 17 pairs of eyes on me, all marinated in jealousy. See, here's the thing about Fan Shibei. He's supposedly the best shot in the area, but he married a plain woman and it eats him alive that I, a gambling deadbeat, somehow landed 3 gorgeous wives who still live in my house after divorcing me. Fair point, honestly. Even I don't understand it. But I wasn't in the mood for his garbage tonight. Shibei, you think I need your light to hunt by? You dare. You've been hunting for years and your crew moves through the forest like a marching band. You could be the best shot on earth. Doesn't matter when every animal within 3 miles already packed their bags and left, because your boys sound like a drum circle. 6 fingers jumped in. Watch your mouth. Shibei's aim is the best in. Did I ask you to talk? I didn't even look at him. Eyes locked on Shibei. Let's be real. This isn't about hunting. You're mad because I married 3 beautiful women and you're stuck going home too. Well, tell me, does your wife know you finish in 3 seconds? Wait, sorry, 3 seconds might be generous. I'll kill you. Shibei grabbed his gun and charged. People yelled. Xuanzhu grabbed my arm. Old Ten panicked. Too slow. All of them. Because before Shibei took 2 steps, my shotgun barrel was already pressed against his forehead. 1 foot away. Trigger finger ready. Eyes calm as a lake on a windless day. Go ahead, Shibei. Move. Let's see who's faster. You. Or my bullet. 17 men. Dead silent. Even the crickets shut up. The wind blew. The torch flickered. Nobody breathed. Yeah. Welcome to the new Liu Bei, boys. I half pulled the trigger. Just a tiny click. But in that silence, it sounded like thunder. Shibei's pupils shrank to pinpoints. Old Ten bear hugged my arm screaming, Ancestor. My ancestor. You're actually going to shoot. His son and 6 fingers dragged Shibei backwards like he was a malfunctioning shopping cart. Then, the best part. Haru picked up a gun, aimed it at Shibei's group, eyes wide as dinner plates, huge grin on his face. Biero. I'll help. Everyone froze. Including me. Uncle Xuanzhu's face went white, then green, then a color I don't think exists in nature. He smacked Haru's head so hard the kid stumbled forward. Put the gun down. But Dad, I was helping. Helping? If someone dies, Liu Bei goes to prison. You go to prison. Both families are finished. Haru blinked. Oh, that can happen. He had genuinely never considered that murdering someone might have consequences. Xuanzhu looked at his own crotch area, looked at his son, and I could physically see him questioning every life choice that led to this child's existence. His temple vein was doing a full cardio workout. Then Haru dropped the nuclear bomb. If Dad hits me again, I'll shoot his baby-making equipment off. Rat-a-ta-ta. Even if it explodes, I'll keep shooting. Xuanzhu stared at his own region, then at his son. I could see his soul leaving his body. He's mine. He's my own son. I made him. I have to endure this. I physically covered Haru's mouth and dragged him up the mountain before his father committed filicide. Shibei's parting shot as he was hauled away. Liu Bei, if you come down empty-handed tonight, I'll laugh at you. Yeah, buddy. Save that energy. You'll need it. We took the East Trail, away from the 17-man marching band, and went deep. An hour in, my red dot vision lit up, a faint glow, pulsing in the darkness past 3 Mile Slope. That's 3 Mile Slope territory, Xuanzhu warned. People have gone in and almost never come out. Haru shoved past him. Dad and I went there last time. It was fine. Stop being a turtle. Haru dragged me forward. Xuanzhu stood there fuming, then chased after us because, well, his idiot son was in there. We pushed through brush, crested the ridge, and the forest opened into a moonlit meadow. Haru almost dropped his lantern. Standing in the center, bathed in silver moonlight like some kind of mythical painting, was a Chinese sorrow. Foreign-like. Looks like it can't decide if it's a horse, deer, goat, or donkey. Massive, gorgeous red-gray coat, white mane. Rarest animal on Big Lu Mountain. Meat so tender it's basically legendary. Xuanzhu was hyperventilating. Then, because the universe hates easy wins, a flock of wild goats burst from the trees and spooked it. The sorrow's head shot up. It tensed to bolt. It's gonna run. Haru flapped his arms. Xuanzhu groaned. Too far. 150 paces. Night conditions. Old gun. Impossible. Bang. I'd already fired. The sorrow froze mid-stride. Front legs buckled, and it crashed into the grass like a toppled statue. One shot. 150 paces. Moving target. In the dark. Dead. Xuanzhu's pipe fell out of his mouth. His hands were shaking. 20 years carrying a gun, and he'd never seen shooting like that. Haru was already sprinting across the meadow howling like a wolf. I was reloading and walking. Behind me, Xuanzhu picked up his pipe with trembling fingers, staring at me like I'd just pulled a rabbit out of a hat. Except the rabbit was a 200-pound mythical deer, and the hat was pure darkness. This kid. Is he possessed? No, uncle. Just reborn. With cheat codes. The sorrow was a beast, 150 pounds of prime meat, fat and solid. Haru was already doing mental math. That's more than my dad makes in 3 months. Congratulations, you can finally do arithmetic. I've always been able to, debatable. My red dot vision pinged again. Something moving 60 paces away, hidden behind bushes. I couldn't see it. Didn't need to. I could hear it rustling. Bang. A shriek from behind the bushes. Xuanzhu's mouth was hanging open so wide a family of birds could have nested in there. He was trying to process how I'd shot something I couldn't even see. His internal monologue was practically visible floating above his head. No wonder this kid has 3 wives. Every shot hits the target. Meanwhile, I've been trying to make baby number 2 for months. Every night, full effort, nothing. Youth is wasted on the young. Their bullet accuracy is just superior. Hodder crashed through the bushes screaming. A deer. A girl deer. I checked. Confirmed. No antler equipment downstairs. Female. Then Hodder hit me with this gem. Bro, when you remarry your wives and have the wedding night, you have to invite me. Why? So I can watch and learn. Your aim is incredible. There must be a technique. Teach me some moves. He wanted to spectate my wedding night. Like it was a MESDRCLASS. Me and my wife performing while Horror sits in the corner taking notes like a diligent student. Am I a husband or a nude figure model for an art school? Sure, I said deadpan. There's a tuition fee. How much? He actually asked how much. I couldn't even respond. My brain short-circuited. Then another red dot appeared. A buck came trotting down the slope. Young, small antlers just budding. I didn't hesitate. Bang. Down. 3 shots. 3 animals. Half an hour. All kill shots. Horror checked the buck and yelled back. BRO? We got the husband and the wife. You think they were on a date? Silence from me. When I get a girlfriend, I'm taking her to the forest for a date too. It'll be so exciting. And afterwards I'll be just like you. Every shot lands. I'll make 3 babies. This man's brain has exactly 1 channel, and it plays the same program 24/7. We hauled everything back to Schwanju. The old man looked at the moon, looked at 3 massive carcasses on the ground, and his brain buffered. 3 shots, 3 kills, all at night, all through vital organs. In 20 years of hunting, he'd never seen anything like it. Even Shibe, the best shot in the village, only hit 6 or 7 out of 10. I was batting 1,000. I could see the question forming in his head. When did this gambling deadbeat learn to shoot like a Navy SEAL? He told me, Liu Bei, look after Har. The boy's not smart, but he's honest and hardworking. I trust you with him. Genuinely touching. Moving on. Har begged to take the next shot. I let him. We found a hedgehog curled up in some grass. I pointed, gestured, low target, shoot near the ground. Horror crept forward. Aimed. Deep breath. Bang. The hedgehog flipped over. Dead. Horror launched himself into the air like a rocket. BRO? I hit it. I hit it. Am I amazing? He held that hedgehog over his head like a trophy. When my wife finds out, she'll say I shoot so accurately. What wife? Where? Is she imaginary? Inflatable? Living in another dimension? I almost said something, but nah. Let the man have his moment. One more red dot. A squirrel on a tree trunk, nibbling a pine cone. Tiny target. I aimed for the head, needed the fur intact. Bang. Dropped clean. Headshot. Fur. Perfect. Horror picked it up, turned to look at me, and his expression. It wasn't admiration anymore. It was the face people make when they're standing in front of a temple statue. I had become his god. Let's go? We've got enough. Night's over. Final score. 1 Siro, 150 pounds. 1 doe, 1 buck, 1 hedgehog, 1 squirrel. 5 shots, 5 kills. 0 misses. Not bad for a dead guy who got kicked off a naked woman's belly yesterday morning. Har was debating whether to eat hedgehog or squirrel first when my red dot vision went insane. 4 dots. All moving. All coming toward us. Fast. The ground started shaking. 4 wild boars exploded out of the forest like furry freight trains. The leader was a 200-pound nightmare with tusks curling out of its foaming mouth and tiny red psycho eyes. Behind it, 3 more, hooves churning up leaves like a tornado. I shoved Horror behind a fat pine tree and raised my gun. 80 paces. Closing fast. Bang. Lead boar's head jerked sideways. Front hooves dug into the dirt, and 200 pounds of bacon slid forward 2 steps before crashing down in an earthquake of mud and leaves. The other 3 panicked and bolted into the trees. I was swinging my gun to track one of the runners when bang. A shot came from the other direction. Hit my dead boar. In the butt. Pointless. The thing was already a corpse. Then from the darkness, a voice I wanted to strangle. Boys. Come quick. I got a wild boar. The big one. 200 pounds. Help me carry it. Fan. Freaking. Shibe. This clown shot a dead pig in the behind and was claiming MY kill. His crew poured out of the trees with torches, all hyped up. Shibe strutted over to the boar like he'd just conquered Rome. Then he spotted me standing 10 steps away, gun still smoking. Brief confusion on his face. Then he saw Horror holding a hedgehog and a squirrel, and his smirk returned at full power. Oh look, it's Liu Bei? Came all this way at night and bagged a hedgehog and a RAT. I feel so bad for your wives. Meanwhile, one shot from me, 200-pound boar. That's real skill. Shibei, your eye's broken? I killed that boar. He planted his foot on my pig. Oh yeah? Prove it. My bullet's in there. My kill. Mountain rules. Whoever's bullet is in it, owns it. Yeah, his bullet was in its butt. Mine was in its brain. But apparently forensic analysis wasn't this guy's strong suit. I was done talking. I kicked him off the pig. You dare? He raised his gun at my head. Kneel and apologize, or I blow your brains out. Six Fingers jumped in, pointing his gun at me too. Yeah, kneel. Kowtow. Now. Old me might have actually done it. Old me was a coward who folded under pressure. Knew me? I'd faced lions in Africa. Stared down grizzly bears in Siberia alone. You think two village idiots with rusty shotguns scare me? In one motion, 3 seconds, maybe less, I grabbed Shibei's wrist, twisted it, ripped the gun from his hands, and turned it around. Now I had 2 guns. Mine pointed at Six Fingers' crotch, his pointed at his own face. Shibei's forehead broke out in cold sweat. He was staring down the barrel of his own gun, and his brain was still loading. Boys, get him, Six Fingers screamed, finally catching up to current events. 2 more guys raised their guns at me. For guns versus 2. Then Horror, glorious, beautiful, brain-damaged HER, threw the hedgehog and squirrel on the ground, grabbed his shotgun, and aimed it directly at Six Fingers' pants region. Anybody touches my BRO, and I'll shoot your balls off. You'll never shoot again, Six Fingers sputtered. You idiot, say that again. I said I'll shoot your balls off. You want to test me? You mother. One more word to my brother, I said, swinging my barrel to aim directly at Six Fingers' zipper, finger on the trigger, and I turn you into a eunuch. Right here, right now. Six Fingers looked into my eyes. Whatever he saw in there made his throat bobble 3 times. He swallowed every word he had left. Because he knew, he could feel it in his bones. I would absolutely, 100%, pull that trigger. So there we were. 6 guns in a Mexican standoff on a Chinese mountain. 2 versus 4. Horror and I outnumbered, outgunned, and not giving a single solitary damn. The wind stopped blowing. The bugs stopped chirping. Even the crickets were scared. Seconds ticked by. Here's the thing about standoffs. Numbers don't matter when one side is willing to die and the other side is sweating through their shirts. Shibei's legs were shaking so bad his kneecaps were clicking together. Six Fingers was producing enough forehead sweat to water a rice paddy. Their 2 backup guys looked like they were seriously reconsidering their life choices. Meanwhile, Horror was grinning, pointing his gun at people's reproductive organs with the casual joy of a child playing with a water gun. I love this maniac. The tension was about to snap. One sneeze, one twitch, and somebody's going to the hospital or the cemetery. Then Old Tan and his son came crashing through the bushes, took one look at 6 guns all pointed at various body parts, and his legs buckled. Sweet mother of, nobody shoot. Everybody calm down. Put the guns down. Old Tan tried to play peacemaker. He checked the bore. Bullet hole in the brain. Mine, iron shot. And a pathetic scratch on the butt, Shibei's lead pellet, hit after the pig was already room temperature. Dead pigs don't bleed, everybody knows that. Case closed. But did Shibei accept the verdict? Of course not. He screamed at Old Tan, the man who was helping him, called him useless, threatened to beat him up too. Old Tan's face went from friendly to stone cold. Fine. Handle it yourself. He grabbed his son and walked away. Li Dazhuang quietly slid his machete back into his belt and backed off too. Smart man. Even he could see Shibei was a sinking ship. Then Shibei, drunk on his own delusion, made his final demand. Liu Bei, either shoot me or get on your knees, kowtow 3 times, call me grandpa, and admit I killed that boar. Bang. I fired. The bullet kissed his left ear on the way past. Close enough to feel the heat. Close enough to hear God whisper, not today. Every human on that mountain turned to stone. Six Fingers' gun clattered to the ground. His legs were doing the sewing machine. One of the backup guys straight up bolted into the forest. And Shibei? His legs gave out. He collapsed onto the dirt. His face went whiter than the moon. And then, the sound. A quiet, warm, spreading hisses. His crotch darkened. A puddle formed. The smell of fresh urine wafted through the mountain air like the world's worst perfume. Hotter lost it. Bro, look, he peed himself. He actually peed. Ha ha ha. It smells so bad. I blew the smoke from my barrel like a cowboy and looked down at him. You told me to shoot. I shot. Where's your gun? Where's all that tough talk? A 150-pound man didn't even get hit, and your pants surrendered first. You don't hunt animals, Shibe, you water them. Just stand in the forest, and the smell from your crotch will clear out every living creature within a mile. Won't even need bullets. Shibe's face went white, red, purple, like a mood ring having a seizure. He realized I'd never planned to kill him. I was playing with him, in front of everyone. He jumped up screaming, "You played me? I'll..." "Shut up," Horror roared. "Talk to my bro again, and I'll blast your nuts. Then I'll..." He paused to compose his most devastating insult. "Do your wife's butt." Bang. I fired again, right past Shibe's other ear. Down he went. Again. Puddle, bigger. Smell, worse. Horror was on the ground pounding the earth with his fists, tears streaming. Bro, he peed again. Third time. He shouldn't be called Fan Shibe anymore. He should be called Fan PE Pants. Ha ha ha. Did you pee your wife's share too? She won't have any left. Then I dropped the legal bomb. Shibe? Quick reminder. Horror is legally classified as mentally impaired. The whole village knows he fell on his head as a kid. Under the law, someone with a mental disability who hurts or kills someone faces no criminal charges. He's certified. You, however, are a normal person. You touch him, assault. You shoot him, murder one. Death penalty. Shibe's brain.exe stopped responding. Hotter's brain, however, went supernova. Wait, I'm a certified idiot? And idiots can kill people for free? Then what am I even afraid of? He swung his gun up, and bang. Shot number 3. Hotter's contribution. Bullet grazed Shibe's neck close enough to singe his neck hair. Shibe collapsed for the 3rd time. His pants were now so wet they were see-through. From the inside out. Horror was sobbing with laughter. 3 times. A hat trick of pee. Someone give this man a diaper. I took the gun from Horror, walked over, and pressed the barrel against Shibe's forehead. Nice and gentle. You wanted me to kneel and call you Grandpa? I. Next bullet comes from the certified lunatic. He missed your balls this time. Might not miss next time. And legally, nobody can touch him. Want to test it? I was wrong. The boar is yours. I didn't kill it. You did. It's all yours. Music to my ears. I handed Horror his gun back. He pouted. That's it? We're letting him go? But he listened. I grabbed the boar. Li Dazhuang came running over. Let me help carry. Old Tan and his son joined too. Suddenly I had a crew. We marched down the mountain like conquering heroes. Me, Horror, Xuanju, Old Tan, his son, and Li Dazhuang, hauling a sorrow, 2 deer, a boar, a hedgehog, and a squirrel. Behind us, Shibe sitting in his own pea puddle, 6 fingers frozen like a mannequin, and 2 traumatized guys who would never volunteer for a hunting trip again. Moonlight glinted off Shibe's soaked pants like a spotlight on his shame. Through gritted teeth, staring at our backs, Liu Bei. Horror. Next time I'll make you pee 3 times. If I can't, I'll eat dog crap. Bold words from a man currently marinating in his own urine. But sure, buddy. Dream big. When we got back to Xuanju with the boar, Old Tan saw the full haul and nearly fainted. 4 unlike, 2 deer, a boar, a hedgehog, and a squirrel, all lined up like a butcher shop exploded. His son's mouth opened wide enough to garage a truck. Li Dazhuang just stood there rubbing blood off his hands, whispering. All of this was Liu Bei, Horror proudly announced. 1 shot each. Next shots. They didn't even twitch. Everyone's brains, buffering. I offered 2 pounds of meat per person for helping carry everything down. Old Tan's eyes lit up like slot machines. Sleeves rolled. Deer lifted. Questions forgotten. Li Dazhuang threw the 150-pound sorrow over his shoulder like it was a pillow. Absolute unit. The walk home became the roast Shibe comedy hour. Horror couldn't help himself. Dad. Shibe peed 3 times. First when bro shot past his left ear, splash. Then I shot past his right ear, double splash. Then, Xuanju tried to shut him up, but then heard Shibe had threatened to hurt his son. Instantly switched teams. That son of a turtle. His face is thicker than a city wall. Old Tan jumped in. I went over there to help that ingrate. and he poked my chest and told me to get lost. I'm a generation older. He's not even worth a dog's attention. His son Tansy. Last time we helped him plant rice, he didn't even offer Dad water. Someone should knock his teeth out and stuff them in his pants. Li Dazhuang said nothing but snorted. That snort contained volumes. The roasting continued from the mountain all the way to the village. They covered his personality, his ugly wife, his pants wetting, his face, back to his pants, back to his face, and full circle to his personality again. A complete 360-degree roasting rotisserie. Hotter's contribution: he shouldn't be called Fan Shibe anymore. He should be called Fan PE Pants. Everyone howled. I just kept walking, mouth twitching, trying to stay dignified. We entered the village at dawn. A little kid squatting by his doorstep taking a morning pee saw us carrying a giant boar, forgot to pull up his pants, and ran inside bare-bottomed screaming. "Grandma, there's a huge pig outside." Word spread faster than fire. Within minutes, my yard was surrounded by half the village. We laid everything out front. Sorrow, 2 deer, 200-pound boar, hedgehog, squirrel. A complete wildlife museum. Is that a foreign like? Haven't seen one in years. The Liu family's about to get rich. Then a voice cut through like nails on a chalkboard. The mountain belongs to the collective. The animals are collective property. Liu Bei can't keep it all. It should be shared equally. 2 dogs. Back for round 2. Strutting in with 3 or 4 village loafers. Yeah. Collective mountain. Collective meat. Share it. Horror grabbed his gun. Let me blast there. Xuanju pinned him down. Everyone looked at me. I stood up slowly. Took Hotter's gun. Raised it. Bang. Shot right between 2 dogs' legs. Bullet grazed his inner thigh on the way through. He collapsed. Peed himself instantly. Horror was delighted. 2 dogs peed too. What is wrong with you people tonight? Is everybody's bladder broken? I blew the smoke off the barrel. It was becoming my signature move, and announced, "Listen up. This is the reform era now." I risked my life on that mountain. I bought the bullets. I almost got trampled by a wild boar. You want meat? Go hunt it yourself. Don't have the guts? Then get lost. Next shot won't just pass between your legs. 2 dogs didn't move. Nobody volunteering to go first? Fine. 2 dogs, you're up again. Don't worry, my aim is excellent. It'll be quick. You'll barely feel it. Liubei? I'll remember this. He scrambled up and fled with his crew like their butts were on fire. Then Mom came charging out of the kitchen wielding a cleaver. Yeah, run. Come back and let my son shoot that skinny little thing off. You worthless dog. If I see you again, I'll stomp on your tiny equipment myself. I was trying so hard not to laugh. Then Chunyan burst out, machete in one hand, scissors in the other, and chased 2 dogs down the street screaming, "Get back here, you skinny dog. Let me cut off your 3rd leg and feed it to the actual dogs." She was running. Full sprint. Dual-wielding bladed weapons. Hair flying. Absolutely feral. 2 dogs was running for his life and his manhood. I stood in the yard watching my 3rd ex-wife chase a grown man with scissors aimed at his reproductive future, and I thought, you know what? I think she still cares. Chunyan chased 2 dogs until he vanished over the horizon, then stomped back swinging her scissors at the air. Next time I see you, I'm cutting it off. Some random male villager was staring at her. She pointed the scissors at him. What are you looking at? Want me to cut yours too? The man's legs snapped together so fast his knees cracked. She inspected my haul. Sorrow, 2 deer, 200-pound boar, and her eyes were doing laps. But her mouth? Still on brand. You sure you didn't steal these from Shibei's group? Old Tan stepped up. Miss, I watched him do it. 3 shots, 3 kills, all vital organs. In 30 years of hunting, I've never seen anything like it. Li Dazhuang backed him up. It's real. Chunyan kicked the pig, squeezed the deer's fat, then muttered, "Blind cat bumped into a dead mouse. Just luck." Then she immediately squatted down and started inspecting the belly fat. For someone who didn't believe me, she sure was eager to check the meat quality. Yuhi was standing at her doorway, mouth wide enough to store fruit. He did all of this. Alone, my 3 kids peeked out from behind Wanchio. Pampan stared at the sorrow for a long time. Curious, but her feet were nailed to the ground. Little Bao wanted so badly to touch the animal, but saw me and froze. Still scared of his own father. Long road ahead. I know. Mom slapped my head. Lovingly this time. If you'd been like this sooner, Would I have aged 20 years from stress? Then she went into logistics mode. It's summer. Meat spoils fast. Get it to market now. I started dividing the spoils. £3 per helper. Old Tan, his son, Li Dazhuang, Xuanju, and the extra guys. Everyone got theirs, grinning like lottery winners. Then I offered 3 yuan each if they'd help haul everything to town. Mom nearly had a stroke. I saw her doing mental math. 7 people times 3 yuan equals 21 yuan. Half a worker's monthly salary. Gone. Her heart was physically hemorrhaging money. You want to just give yourself away too? She hissed. But with everyone watching, she swallowed it. I explained privately, Mom, we'll need the horse cart again. And these guys help. Invest now, profit later. She grumbled but accepted. I brought 5 pounds of meat to the village chief. His wife's eyes locked onto that pork like a heat-seeking missile. Use the cart. Anytime. We're all family. The chief couldn't agree fast enough. 3 pounds to old 7 for the horses. Done. Everyone greased, everyone happy. Back home, I carved out 15 pounds for the family. 5 each of boar, deer, and serow. Told Mom to salt and store them. Then loaded everything else onto the cart. I was climbing up when Wanshio came running out with a bowl of water. Drink before you go. I drained it. She fixed my collar. You hunted all night. Try to nap on the road. Don't wear yourself out. Something about the way she looked at me, the gentleness, the worry, the tiny act of straightening my shirt. It broke something inside me. I grabbed her and pulled her into a hug. Let go. Everyone's watching. She was pushing against my chest when suddenly she felt a development below the equator, a structural change that was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Her face turned the color of a boiled lobster. She shoved me back. Liu Bei, in broad daylight. You have no shame. She fled into the house like the building was on fire. The yard went absolutely silent. Old Tan snorted first. Li Dazhuang turned his entire body away from me. Tanxi's mouth was open, but no sound came out. Xuanju sighed and looked at the sky. Chun Yan, from the doorway. Disgusting. Mom, spitting on the ground. In front of everyone. You're embarrassing me. And then, of course, horror materialized at my elbow with sparkling eyes. Bro, were you trying to make a baby with Sister Wanshio just now? Your technique looked exactly like hunting. Lock on target and don't let go. If you and her do the thing tonight, call me. I'll stand outside the door and listen, just to study your aiming technique. Get lost. I'll pay tuition. Get lost. Xuanju smacked his son's skull. One more word, and I'm sewing your mouth shut. Horror just giggled, rubbing his head. My teacher said students should be eager to learn. How is being eager to learn wrong? I've never jumped onto a horse cart faster in my life. Let's go. Now, Horror shouting after me as I rode away. Bro, when you get back tonight, don't forget to teach me. I'm a willing student. Teach you nothing. Smack. Xuanju's palm connected with skull again. As we rolled out of the village, I was still red-faced, trying to pretend the last 2 minutes didn't happen. Behind me, my entire family and half the village had just witnessed me get a public erection while hugging my first ex-wife. New life goal. Dig a hole. Climb in. Never come out. But wait. As we left the village, I caught something in my peripheral vision. A shadow, following us at a distance. Someone was tailing us. We hit the morning market like a traveling circus. My purple dot financial radar led me to the perfect spot, and I started hollering. Fresh wild boar. 1 yuan a pound. No ration ticket needed. In 1981, government pork costs 1.20 and requires a ticket that gives you 2 measly pounds per month. I was selling cheaper, tastier, and ticket-free. People swarmed like I was giving away gold. Some grandma tried haggling on the deer meat. Can you do 1 yuan flat? I gave her the sales pitch of a lifetime. Ma'am, you've seen what deer costs at the state market. This is wild, this is rare, this is practically a gift at 1.10. Where else you gonna find this? Some random dude in the crowd backed me up. He's right, that's a fair price. Sold. Bless that stranger. Xuanju was butchering like a surgeon, each cut ruler straight. Old Tan worked the scale. Horror did what horror does best, be accidentally hilarious. His dumb jokes drew crowds bigger than the meat did. The man was a natural entertainer. A complete moron, but a natural. Everything sold out in 30 minutes. 280 yuan. Horror squatted next to me, eyes bulging. Bro. 280. Xuanju kicked him. Shut up. You don't announce money in public. You idiot. Then my purple vision went crazy. The deepest, richest purple I'd ever seen appeared nearby, practically throbbing with profit energy. I followed it to a fancy brick building, Jufu restaurant. Behind the counter sat a chubby man in a perfectly buttoned mouse suit, spinning Buddhist prayer beads like a mob boss who found religion. He saw the sorrow and his beads stopped mid-spin. Is that a foreign-like, fresh from the deep mountain? Buying. We haggled. He opened at 80. I countered at 120. He accepted. Just like that. 120 yuan for one animal. Name's Foam. People around here call me General Foam. Bring me more wild game anytime. Total earnings for one morning, 400 yuan. A government worker makes 38.50 a month. I just earned someone's 3 to 4 years of savings before lunch. I was walking out feeling like a king when... Stop right there, Wang Matzi. Back again, with 15 goons this time. And hiding behind him like the cockroach he is, 2 dogs, pointing at me. See, Brother Matzi? I told you he made a fortune today. This RAT had been tailing us since the village. That was the shadow I spotted earlier. Wang Matzi twirled a stick. You humiliated me at your house. I haven't forgotten. This is MY Town. And now you owe me 200. Interest on interest. 15 guys surrounded us. 3 versus 15. Hatter grabbed a carrying pole. Let me kick there. I held him back. Wait. Wang Matzi poked my chest with his finger, smirking, starting his villain speech. You think paying 100 settles it? Interest compounds. Today you hand over. I grabbed his pointing finger and bent it backwards. Crack. He dropped to his knees screaming. Let go. Boys. Get him. 15 thugs charged. Here's where it got beautiful. I yanked Wang Matzi up and used him as a human shield. Wham. First stick meant for me cracked across Wang Matzi's forehead. Are you blind? He screamed at his own guy. Sorry, boss. I didn't mean. I dodged again. Wham. Second stick hit Wang Matzi's back. Your eyes too? Hit him. Not me. As you wish, I whispered, spinning him around. Wham. Third stick, right on his shoulder. Wang Matzi was literally crying. His own boys had beaten him 3 times while trying to hit me. He was my personal punching bag shield, absorbing every hit like a piñata that screams. Stop. Everyone stop hitting. His guys froze. Wang Matzi, tearful, broken. Liu Bei. Brother. I was wrong. This was all 2 dogs' idea. I looked at 2 dogs. 2 dogs panicked. No, it was Wang Matzi's idea. Nothing to do with me. I smiled. Interesting. Wang Matzi says it's your fault. You say it's his. Wang Matzi, your buddy just threw you under the bus. What do you want to do about that? Wang Matzi's sadness instantly converted to rage. 2 dogs, you backstabbing boys. Beat him. Wait. No, Brother Matzi. Not the face. Please, not the wham wham wham. 2 dogs got pummeled by Wang Matzi's own crew until both his eyes swelled into perfect panda circles. Beautiful symmetry. Wang Matzi, kneeling, swore a solemn oath. Liu Bei, I swear to heaven. Wherever you are, I will never appear again. If I break this oath, may lightning strike me and may I die with no descendants. I was about to accept his surrender when... Who's causing trouble? Police. Actual police. Arriving at the worst possible moment. Everybody down. Hands behind your heads. You're all coming with us. All of us. Me, Horror, Tensi, Wang Matzi, 2 dogs, 15 goons. Arrested. Perfect. Just perfect. 400 yuan in my pocket. A family waiting at home. And I'm being hauled to the police station because Wang Matzi's face met his own boy's sticks and 2 dogs looks like a raccoon. This is fine. Everything is fine. Half hour at the police station. No big deal. Turns out when the cops heard the full story, Wang Matzi tried to extort me, his own goons. Beat him up by accident, and 2 dogs looked like a panda because his own side punched him. They locked up Wang Matzi's crew and let us walk. Justice system, working as intended for once. Paid everyone their promised 3 yuan. Old Tan grabbed my hand like I was his long-lost son. Anytime you need me, I'm there. Li Dazhuang just nodded. Man of few words, many muscles. Final score for the day, 400 yuan total. Minus 21 for helpers. 379 in my pocket. A government worker makes 38.50 a month. I just earned 10 months of salary in one morning. With a rusty shotgun and a certified idiot as my business partner. Got home at sunset. The scene that greeted me was interesting. Wanchio was chopping firewood like a lumberjack angel, precise, efficient, stacking each piece perfectly. Yuhi was sitting outside looking healthier, fanning herself. The three kids were playing tag in the golden light, actually laughing for once. And Chunyin? She was pacing, back and forth across the yard like a caged tiger. East to west, west to east. 8 laps. Then 9. Then 10. Wanchio finally snapped. What are you doing? You've been walking for 30 minutes. You're wearing a trench in the yard. I'm digesting. I ate too much. Digesting? For 8 laps? Who believes that? Mind your business. And anyway, you're the one who got up 5 times last night to check if he was back. 5 times. You're the one who's worried. Wanchio set down the axe and went nuclear? Oh, really? And who was it rolling around in bed last night whispering husband? Husband, in her sleep? Doing things. Very specific things? Should I describe them in detail? Chunyin's face went from skin-colored to volcanic red. You're making that up. My eyes work fine and my ears work better. You did what you did. Own it. Chunyin fled into the house, unable to form words. Yu-He, who'd been innocently listening, suddenly turned tomato-colored too, stared at the ground, and pretended to be fascinated by an ant. Mom, washing clothes by the well, just shook her head and smiled. The more you two fight over my worthless son, the happier I am. Means you both still care. Grandma playing 4D chess. Then I walked in. Got any food? I'm starving. Wanchio rushed over. How'd it go? Perfectly. Everything sold. For 100 yuan total. 379 after paying the guys. How much? Yui's fan fell out of her hand. 379 yuan. She'd been married into my family for 3 years, and the most she'd ever held at once was 250. Through her tiny window, Chunyin, who was definitely not worried about me, spotted the stack of cash, and her eyeballs nearly launched out of her skull. Mom sprinted from the well with wet hands and snatched the money like a hawk catching a fish. Let me count. Let me count. She got to about 100 and lost track. Started over. Got confused again. Wanchio, help me. Wanchio counted it perfectly. 379 yuan confirmed. Then she handed it to me. Not to Mom. To me. Mom's face. System error. But Wanchio was testing me. I could feel it. Mom's eyeballs were drilling into my skull, sending the message. Put that money in your pocket, and I will destroy you. I took the whole stack and placed it in Wanchio's hands. You keep it. She blinked. Why me? This money is for building our new house. You're the only one in this family who can do math. I trust you with it. Wanchio stared at the cash in her hands. This man, who used to gamble away hundreds without blinking, just handed her every cent he'd earned. Didn't give it to Mom. Didn't give it to Chunyin. Gave it to her. The quiet one. The one he divorced for having a daughter. Her eyes went soft. I'll manage this money. But I have one thing to say. She looked me dead in the eyes. Don't let this be a one-time thing. You need to be consistent. I knew what she really meant. She'd been burned before. Many times. She needed to see this version of me show up tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that. Fair enough, Wanchio. Fair enough. But somewhere in her voice, underneath the caution, I heard something that sounded dangerously close to hope. I told Wanchio not to worry. Your man will definitely be consistent. Dead silence. Smack. Mom hit my head. Watch your mouth. I didn't mean it like that. You talking back to me, that I was wrong. That's what I thought. HMPH. Wanchio rolled her eyes so hard I'm surprised they didn't get stuck. Yui's brain replayed the memory of me shoving my hand down her pants to check her period supplies, and her face caught fire all over again. From her room, Chunyin's voice floated out. Shameless. I was too exhausted to care. Hadn't slept in over 24 hours. Grabbed clean clothes and headed to the bathhouse to wash off 2 days of blood, sweat, and animal guts. The second I went in, Chunyin launched out of her room like a missile and cornered Wanchio. Sister Wanchio, I need to warn you. He's setting a trap. Giving you the money is step 1. He'll earn your trust, then seduce you into bed. Then once he's got you, BM, real personality comes back. You'll lose the money and your dignity. Give it back to him. It's safer. Wanchio didn't even look up from chopping wood. You done? Yes. Then leave. I'm busy, but he's tricking you. Just say you're jealous he gave me the money instead of you. All this scheming talk is exhausting. Chunyin's face froze mid-sentence. Who? Who's jealous? I'm just. And speaking of sleeping with him, weren't you the one who had him in your room the other night? Don't pretend you didn't want it. With your temper, if you didn't want him in there, he couldn't have gotten past the door. Chunyin turned colors I've never seen on a human face. I was forced. It wasn't voluntary. Forced? You? The woman who chases men with scissors? Even ghosts wouldn't believe that story. Now go away. I'm chopping wood. Chunyin finally dropped the act and went full honest. Fine. I'll say it straight. You're too nice. Someone could steal that money from you. Give it to me. I'll guard it. Any man tries something funny, I'll cut him. Any woman tries something, I'll chop her. Wanchio smiled coldly. Oh, the fox finally shows her tail. You want the money? Go ask Liu Bei. If he says yes, I'll hand it over immediately. Ask me? In person? Chunyin would rather eat glass than ask me for anything. She stomped away fuming. Behind her back, Wanchio smiled to herself. He gave the money to me. That proves I'm his favorite. Not you, Chunyin. Me. Oh, these women. They're already competing over me, and I haven't even done anything yet. Then, and I only found out about this later, Chunyin somehow sleepwalked her way to the bathhouse door, where I was showering. Naked. She pressed her eye to the crack in the door. Apparently, she saw my back muscles, my shoulders, my narrow waist, and her brain went completely offline. Her thoughts, reconstructed from forensic evidence. When did this idiot get so built? No wonder he had so much energy. That night, her mouth fell open. Drool actually formed. Her throat did the swallowing thing. She stood there frozen, glued to the door crack, mind totally blank. I finished, pulled on shorts, opened the door, and almost crashed into her. Chunyin, what are you doing at the door? Why are you drooling? I'm not drooling. Who's drooling? Nobody's drooling. Then what are you doing here? I was just passing by. Don't flatter yourself. She sprinted away. I watched her flee and grinned. That woman was absolutely, 100%, just peeping at me naked through the door crack. Her mouth says, passing by, but her body says, front row seat, please, don't worry, Chunyin. Once I've rested up and recharged, I'll give you the full show. I yawned, went to bed, and was unconscious before my head hit the pillow. Meanwhile at Hader's house, his mom was feeding chickens when Xuanju slapped 6 yuan into her hand. She counted it 3 times. He actually paid you. Horror puffed up like a proud rooster. Mom, my bro is incredible. For animals, 1 night, 3 shots. I think Dad should learn from him. Learn to shoot. No, learn how to get 3 wives. His mother ripped off her shoe and chased him around the yard, screaming, you ungrateful little. I raised you for nothing. Xuanju watched his wife chase his son, picked up his dropped pipe, and smiled the warmest smile of his life. The boy finally wants to help his old man out. That's my seed right there. True filial piety. Ha 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 ha. Then someone knocked on their door. Late at night. Unexpected. Who is it at this hour? Xuanju's wife yelled. Sister, open up. It's me. Cliffhanger. Because apparently this story never lets anyone sleep. While I was dead asleep, apparently everyone in the village was trying to join Team Liu Bei. Old Tin showed up at Xuanju's house, trying to play it cool. So, when is Liu Bei going hunting again? Just curious. No reason. And horror, beautiful, brain-damaged, accidentally genius horror, saw right through him. Uncle Tan, you want to work with my bro, but you're too embarrassed to ask him directly. So you came here to get my dad to ask for you. Right? Old Tan's smile froze. A certified idiot just read him like a children's book. He recovered fast, though. 50 years of village politics kicked in. Horror, you're so sharp. No wonder Liu Bei always wants you around. Smooth save, old man. Then Li Dazhuang showed up with 2 other guys. Same question. Same sheepish grin. Xuanju didn't even let them finish. You're here about hunting with Liu Bei, aren't you? I'll tell him. Go home. Xuanju's wife counted her 6 yuan for the 40th time and whispered, Honey, if more people join, won't our share get smaller? Xuanju puffed his pipe. Woman, Liu Bei's brain works 10 times faster than yours. And horror is his ride or die. We'll always eat first. His wife turned to horror with the warmest maternal smile she'd ever produced. Son, make sure you stay very close to your brother Bei, okay? Horror slapped his chest. Mom, the bro situation is handled. 0 problems. Then he paused. But you have a problem. Me? Horror, with the sincerity of a saint. Every time Dad fights you, he loses in under 3 minutes. His stamina is terrible. You should buy him supplements. If the village finds out he can't last, He'll lose all face. Silence. Xuanju's pipe hung in midair. His mouth twitched violently. He raised the pipe to smash his son's head, then stopped. What if I damage his brain worse? He's already running on fumes. One more hit, and there's nothing left. But his wife? She didn't hold back. Smack across Hotter's forehead. Your father has never had stamina. Not since our wedding night. It's always been quick. Buy supplements? Waste of money. Better save that cash to find you a wife, so I can have a grandson. And that grandson better last longer than your father. Xuanju's entire face was twitching. His wife just publicly confirmed, in front of their son, that he's been a 3-minute man for their entire marriage. And she wants a grandson who'll outperform him. Mother and son. One calls him no endurance. The other calls him bad stamina. Truly, mother and child think as one. Then Hotter bolted for the door. Where are you going? You said you want grandkids, right? I'm going to Brother Bay's house to study. He's probably doing it with one of the sisters-in-law right now. I'll observe and take notes. His mother froze like a glitching robot. Get back here, you. Gone. Vanished into the night. On a mission to spectate my sex life for educational purposes. His mom spun around and glared at Xuanju. Your son, no stamina. Your wonderful son, Xuanju, internally screaming. He came out of your belly too, woman. How is this only my fault? Back at my house, I was blissfully unconscious. Slept from afternoon straight through to midnight. Everyone was asleep. Mom, Wanshio Yuhi, all quiet. Even the kids were down. Then my bladder woke me up. Nature called and would not be ignored. I stumbled out in the dark toward the outhouse. That's when I noticed something. Chunyin's door. It was open. Not all the way. Just a crack. A deliberate, inviting crack. Chunyin always bolts her door at night. Always. Every single night since the divorce. She locks it like she's protecting state secrets. But tonight that door was cracked open like a suggestion. My bladder said, go to the outhouse. My brain said, but that door, could it be? I stood outside Chunyin's door staring at that crack like it was the entrance to paradise. This woman, who normally bolts her door like she's guarding nuclear secrets, adds a chair barricade, and probably sets booby traps, had left it open. On purpose. After spending the afternoon drooling through the bathhouse door crack watching me shower. Her mouth says, get lost. Her door says, come in. I chose the door. Pushed it open. Silent as a ghost. Locked it behind me. 3 steps to the bed. There she was. Eyes squeezed shut. Breathing deliberately slow. Pretending to be dead asleep. Except her chest was heaving like she'd just sprinted a mile. Acting. Oscar-worthy acting. Except the breathing gave it away. Nobody sleeps with a heart rate of 180. Moonlight was streaming through the tiny window and landing right on her. She was wearing nothing but a red silk top that left her shoulders, collarbones, and other significant geography completely exposed. My throat did the swallowing thing. I climbed in, put my arm around her waist. She went rigid. Then, performance mode activated. Who's there? She woke up, recognized me, and immediately tried to kick me in the stomach. I grabbed her leg with one hand and covered her mouth with the other. SHHH. Wanshio sleeps next door. Her ears are sharper than a rabbit's. One sound, and she wakes up. How are you going to explain this? Her eyes were bulging out of her head with fury, but she knew I was right. Wanshio had already embarrassed her once today. Getting caught twice would be social extinction. But she wasn't going down without drawing blood. Chomp. She bit my arm. Hard. You're insane. Are you a dog, or a... She slapped her hand over my mouth this time. Pointed at the wall. Same logic I'd just used on her. Go ahead. Scream. Wake up, Wanshio. See what happens. Checkmate. By my own move. Fine. You win. Then she got impatient. Well, what are you waiting for? You don't know what to do, but you just said Wanshio is next door. I said she's next door. I didn't say you can't do anything. Are you made of wood? Hurry up before I bite you again. Yes, ma'am. You call this fast? Are you even a man? I have walked into a tiger's den. Not a wolf's den. A tiger's. And the tiger is hungry, impatient, and has very sharp teeth. This must be karma for my past life. The universe is collecting its debt, and the payment method is being bossed around in bed by the most terrifying woman in 3 villages. We were just getting to round 2 when, knock, knock, knock. Ignore it, I said. Okay. Knock, 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 knock. Maybe you should check. No, If Wanchio wakes up and finds you in my... I was off the bed, shoes on, door unlatched, and slinking across the yard in under 4 seconds. World record for post-coital evacuation. Opened the gate. And there, standing in the moonlight with a big dopey grin, was Horror. Hey bro. Good evening. My eye twitched. Horror. It is the middle of the night. What do you want? Business first. Old Tan and Li Dazhuang want in on the next hunt. Fine. Next time. Is that it? Nope. He stretched his neck to peek into the yard, then leaned in and whispered directly into my ear canal. Bro, are you doing it with sister-in-law tonight? Why? Research purposes. I need to get married someday, and I can't show up knowing nothing. My teacher always said a good student asks questions. You've handled 3 wives. You're basically a professor. I just want to study your field technique. Is that so wrong? This man, this incredible man, interrupted me mid-tiger ride to ask if he could audit my bedroom performance like a university course. Get out. I kicked his butt so hard he flew. Slam. Door shut. He stood outside rubbing his rear, genuinely confused. What did I say wrong? The teacher said, to know what you know and know what you don't know, that is true knowledge. I don't know, so I asked, why does learning always hurt? Then, to himself, fine. If bro won't teach me, I'll go peek at other houses. Every family does the same show at night anyway. Learn from 1, learn from 10, same curriculum. He jogged off into the village to become a one-man sex education survey team. I stood inside the gate, blood boiling, and looked toward Chunyan's room. Door, bolted. Not a crack. Not a sliver. Sealed tighter than a bank vault. The moment was gone. Murdered by horror. I was ready for 6 more rounds, and this beautiful idiot knocked on my door like a room service attendant at the worst possible moment. I'll kill him tomorrow. I swear I pussed. I turned. Wanchio's door was open. She was poking her head out, beckoning me with one finger, whispering, You. Come to my room. What? What? One door closes. Another one opens. Literally. I lunged at Wanchio with open arms ready for the romantic sequel. Stomp. She crushed my foot. Ow. You called me over. She didn't answer. Instead, she sniffed me. Like a police dog at an airport. You were just in Chunyan's bed. How? You washed with soap this afternoon. You smelled like well water. Now you smell like Chunyan. Women's noses can detect a man's crimes at a molecular level. Don't even try lying. Busted. Forensic evidence. Case closed. She shook her head. I told you. You're divorced. Sneaking into her bed is technically illegal. You could get sent to re-education camp. My heart started racing because I thought she was about to, but you're a normal man with normal needs. I get it. Yes? She understands. She's going to, however. She's your ex. I'm also your ex. You sneak into her bed, but not mine? What am I, furniture? My heart is exploding. She's about to invite me in. This is happening. I opened my arms again. Stay back. She stared me down with absolute seriousness. I want fish. Crucian carp. Not any other fish. Crucian carp specifically. Get me some tomorrow. What? And if you don't, I will personally monitor you and Chunyan every single night. The moment you're at your most critical point, I will knock on her door. Every single time. I will interrupt your most important moment with surgical precision. Slam. Door shut. I stood there, brain melting. She was threatening to weaponize door knocking. Time to the exact second of maximum disruption. Strategic interruption of the highest order. If she actually does that, I'll develop a condition. A permanent, trauma-induced condition. I shuddered. Then, Chunyan's door cracked open again. Half her face appeared. What did Wanchio say? She wants Crucian carp. Chunyan frowned. Crucian carp. That's what nursing mothers eat to boost milk. She's not breastfeeding. Why would she want that? No idea. She thought for 2 seconds, shrugged, then, whatever. I want fish too. What kind? Black fish. She said it slowly, deliberately. Only black fish, but you used to love eels. She leaned against the doorframe and looked me up and down, all the way down, then said in this low, lazy voice, Eels are too thin. Not filling enough. Pause. Black fish are thick. More. Satisfying. Slam. I stood in the yard. Alone. Processing. Thin. Thick. Satisfying. Were we still talking about fish? Something about that felt deeply suspicious, but I couldn't quite put my finger on why. Women. Impossible creatures. Knock, knock, knock. HDR, I swear to. Open the gate. It was Xuanju. Is my idiot son here? He left 20 minutes ago? I kicked him. He didn't go home. No, oh no. Horror. Alone. At night. With that brain. Loose in the village. We split up to search. I headed west. 3 alleys. Past the pond. Nothing. Then I heard it. A muffled explosion of laughter from behind a wall. Hottest laugh. I'd recognize that unhinged giggle anywhere. I followed the sound to Fanshibei's house. Horror was pressed against the window, peeping through a hole he'd poked in the paper, convulsing with silent laughter, shaking so hard he looked like he was having a seizure. Through the hole, Shibei was attempting relations with his wife, and failing spectacularly. He collapsed on top of her after approximately 0 accomplishment. His wife's response was devastating. Useless. Can't outshoot Liu Bei. Got scared into peeing by an idiot. The whole village is laughing at you. Are you even a man? Get off me. She kicked him off the bed. He crawled back. Honey, let me try again. Try what? You've been chewing on me for an hour and nothing happened. Go figure out how to make money instead. Get out of my bedroom. Horror exploded. Laughter erupted out of him like a volcano. Who's there? Shibei burst out in his underwear, saw Horror, and his face went from confused to nuclear. Humiliated on the mountain. Humiliated in his own bed. Now the same idiot who caused both humiliations was watching through the window like it was free entertainment. He grabbed a brick. I'll kill you. Horror didn't run. He stepped forward and stuck out his head. Go ahead. Hit me. But if you don't kill me, tomorrow I kill you. And remember, I'm legally insane. Crazy people kill for free. No prison time. The brick froze midair. Shibei's brain crashed again. Same unsolvable math problem. Kill Hotter equals death penalty for Shibei. Don't kill Hotter equals Hotter kills him with 0 consequences. Then his wife came out. Looked at Horror. Looked at Shibei holding a brick in his underwear. Hands on hips. Can't even handle a moron. I must have been blind to marry you. If I'd known you were this worthless, I would have married Her instead. Shibei's face went white, red, purple, and a 4th color that hasn't been invented yet. Mountain shame. Bedroom shame. Now his own wife publicly ranking Hotter above him. His eyes went blood red. The brick came down toward Hotter's skull. And that's where I need to step in before my best friend gets his already damaged brain turned into pudding. I kick Shibei off Hotter just in time. Foot to his butt, brick to the ground, my boot on his shoulder. Horror is my brother. Touch one hair on him, and I'll destroy you. This kick is a warning. Next time, I pointed my foot toward his crotch area. I won't kick. I'll stomp. He lay there frozen. His wife looked at him from the doorway, said, pathetic, and slammed the door on him. As I dragged Horror away, he couldn't stop narrating what he'd witnessed through the peephole. Biaro, Shibei was so bad in bed. His wife said he chewed on her for an hour, and nothing happened. Then she kicked him off. He's a useless skinny dog. Ha ha ha. Shut up, but bro, shut up. Xuanju appeared out of the darkness, smacked Hotter's forehead, and dragged him home by the collar like a misbehaving puppy. Hata's feet scraped the ground the whole way. Biaro, are we hunting tomorrow? Go home. I collapsed into bed and was unconscious in 2 seconds. Morning. Breakfast. The usual drama. Wancho walked past me like I was invisible, still mad about last night. When I tried to sit at the table, Pan stood up. You're not sitting here. So there I was. Again. Squatting in the kitchen with a bowl of porridge and 2 pickled radishes. Alone. Like a punished dog. But then Wancho walked in silently, placed a piece of braised pork next to my bowl, and walked out without a word. Angry enough to freeze me out. Kind enough to bring me meat. This woman is the most confusing human being alive. Chunyin was eating at warp speed, pretending I didn't exist. But her eyes drifted to the kitchen twice. First glance, me squatting pathetically. Second glance, the meat Wancho brought me. Her chopsticks paused for 1 millisecond. Then she resumed eating. These women communicate entirely through meat placement and chopstick pauses. I need a translator. After breakfast, Hara showed up. Hunting today? No. Fishing. Zhang family lake. His eyes went supernova. We grabbed old nets, borrowed a bamboo raft from Old Seven, and headed out. The lake was beautiful. 100 acres of glittering water, reeds swaying, fish jumping. My red dot vision activated immediately. Dots everywhere. Under the water, deep in the mud, clustered in the southeast corner like an underwater convention. Go left. Southeast. Hotter pushed the pole. We glided across the lake like professionals. Then Haru spotted trouble. Another raft, northeast. 2 figures. Shibe and 6 fingers. With 4 trained cormorant birds, professional fishing equipment. Shibe saw us and his face went dark. After last night's triple humiliation, kicked by me, bedroom shamed by his wife, peeping Tom by Haru, he'd come out here at dawn specifically to catch fish and restore his manhood. And here we were. Haru immediately proposed a battle plan. Bro, let me ram their raft, knock him in the water. Then I'll stand on the raft and pee on his head. He'll be a urine soup chicken. No, but we're here to fish, not fight. Meanwhile, on the other raft, 6 fingers was egging Shibe on. Let's go mess them up. But Shibe had learned his lesson about physical confrontation. Instead, he looked at our raft. No cormorants, just 2 ratty nets, and smiled. Forget fighting. We'll outfish them. No cormorants, no birds, just 2 old nets? He won't catch a single scale. When we have a mountain of fish and he has nothing, we laugh in his face. Better than any punch. They released all 4 cormorants into the water. Oh, buddy, you have no idea. I stood up on the raft, balanced perfectly, felt the weight of the net, spotted the densest cluster of red dots, and let it fly. The net arced through the air like a painting, hit the water, and sank. 10 seconds. 20. I pulled. The net came up exploding with fish. Thrashing, jumping, gleaming in the morning sun. Hata's mouth formed a perfect circle. Holy, grass carp, Christian carp, common carp, and BRO, 2 giant soft-shell turtles, 30-plus pounds in one throw. No birds, no technology, just me, a crappy net, and supernatural cheat code vision. Shibe and 6 fingers stared from their raft. For cormorants diving away with 0 results while I pulled up a seafood buffet with a single cast. And there was more where that came from. My red dot cheat code turned Zhang Family Lake into a personal fish market. First cast, 30-plus pounds of grass carp, Christian carp, common carp, and 3 soft-shell turtles the size of dinner plates. One throw. No birds, no technology. Just me and a net older than my children. Shibe and 6 fingers were watching from their fancy raft with 4 trained cormorants. Birds that cost real money, and their jaws detached from their faces. 6 fingers was having a full existential crisis. He doesn't even have 1 cormorant. He just threw a ratty net into random water and pulled up a seafood restaurant. Are the fish stupid? Are they lining up to jump in his net? There is no justice. Shibe's plan? It's just luck. That area must be a fish hotspot. Quick, send the cormorants where he just fished. They raced over to my spot. Released all 4 birds. Waited with enormous anticipation. 30 seconds later, 4 cormorants surfaced. Their haul, 1 piece of seaweed and 3 fish smaller than a pinky finger. Haru nearly capsized our raft from laughing. Wow, so professional. Your cormorants are vegetarian. They caught grass. 6 fingers, you absolute moron. I told you the fish were gone. 6 fingers turned purple. I'll kill you. Haru stretched his neck forward and tapped his own skull. Come on then. Swim over. Hit me right here. What's wrong, scared? If you don't come over, your mom's a dog. 6 fingers was rolling up his sleeves to jump in the lake when Shibe grabbed his collar. He's a certified idiot. Idiot kills you equals no punishment. You're swimming to your own funeral. 6 fingers deflated like a punctured balloon. I moved to my next red dot cluster. Cast the net. Another full haul. Grass carp, common carp, 2 black fish. Haru immediately turned around to narrate. Hey, dummy brothers. See that? Another full net. Where are your professional birds? Did they drown? Shibe was so jealous he was turning medical shades of red. 6 fingers. Go to his spot again. They raced over. Released the cormorants. 1 minute later, 4 birds surfaced with mouths full of MUD. Not even seaweed this time. Dirt. 6 fingers was questioning reality itself. Every single time I fished a spot and moved on, they'd rush to the same location like seagulls chasing a garbage truck. And every single time, nothing. Because I'd already vacuumed every living creature out of there with surgical precision. They were fishing in my empty footprints. Haru provided continuous commentary like a sports announcer at the world's most one-sided competition. Maybe you should kneel and beg my bro to teach you. Free lesson. First tip. Don't use birds that eat sand. I finally told him to stop before they actually attacked us and flipped the raft. Focus. Money first. The magic words. Hata's eyes switched from chaos mode to cash mode instantly. Pole went into overdrive. 1 hour later, over 200 pounds of fish. 2 buckets overflowing. Fish stuffed in the nets. The raft was literally sinking. Bro, we're going under. Can't fit one more fish. Shibe and Six Fingers had eventually slunk away like wet cats. Didn't even say goodbye. Just quietly paddled to shore and disappeared with their 4 useless birds and their bucket of shame. I was feeling like the king of the lake when, Xiao Bi, a figure sprinting down the field ridge toward us. Hair flying. Face panicked. Mom. She was running and crying. Then she tripped and crashed onto the dirt path. My heart slammed into my ribs. I leaped off the raft and sprinted to her, hauled her up. Mom. What happened? Why are you running? She grabbed my arms, tears streaming, gasping for air. Come home. Now. Something happened, and just like that, the fish, the money, the victory over Shibe, none of it mattered anymore. Because when your mother runs to you crying, the whole world stops. Mom's words hit me like a truck. Bao and Yin are gone. Both of them. Missing. My blood went cold. She explained through sobs. She and the 3 wives went to work the fields, left Pampan watching the little ones. Pampan went to bring them water, came back to an empty house. The whole village searched. Nothing. Then old Annie Kai said she saw a man with a broken arm carrying 2 kids south out of the village. Broken arm. That guy. The scumbag from the brick kiln. The one whose arm I snapped like a twig when I saved you. He came back. For my children. Note to self. Next time I break someone's arm, break the other one too. And both legs. And maybe his spine. Leave nothing functional. Pampan came running up behind Mom. 1 shoe missing, hair wild, voice shredded from crying. My brother and sister are gone. Why are you standing there? Go find them. She was screaming at me. The man she calls, bad man. The father she defends her siblings from. And right now, in her most terrified moment, she was begging him to fix it. I knelt down and put my hand on her head. I'll bring them back. I promise. Then I told Horror to sell the fish, split the money 50-50 with his family. Told Mom to wait at home. And I ran. Sprinted south like death itself was chasing me. 5 miles of rocks, ditches, dead fields. My feet were getting shredded, but I couldn't feel anything except terror. My vision showed a new color, black dots. Red means prey. Purple means money. Black? First time seeing it. Nothing good. I was sure of that. Then I heard it. From inside a crumbling temple with a collapsed roof. Mama. I want Mama. Nian's voice. Cough, 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 Bao's lungs. I kicked the door down so hard the rusty lock exploded. Inside, a fat man was stuffing my 6-year-old daughter into a burlap sack. My 4-year-old son was pressed against the wall, lips blue, barely breathing. And standing right there, broken arm boy, holding a stack of cash. They were selling my children. Past me would have been scared. Past me would have hesitated. Present me grabbed a stone chime off the temple floor and cracked it across the fat man's skull. He went down like a sack of rice. Broken arm tried to run. I threw the chime at his legs. He ate dirt face first. Please. Mercy. I'll never. I stepped on his good leg and snapped it. Then I dragged him outside and took his eyes. Both of them. I'm not going to make that funny. Some things don't get jokes. You try to sell my children, you lose everything that lets you find another child ever again. I walked back inside. Nian was shaking so hard, she looked like she might break apart. Bao wasn't crying, but his whole body was trembling. I scooped them both up, one in each arm. It's over. Daddy's here. Nobody's taking you anywhere. Nian grabbed my collar like it was a life preserver and wouldn't let go. Bao pressed against my chest and slowly stopped shaking. Then footsteps. Running. Pampan burst through the door. She'd followed me. 5 miles. 1 shoe. Alone. Because she couldn't just wait. She saw her brother and sister safe in my arms, and every wall she'd built. Every bad man. Every sharpened stick. Every cold stare. Crumbled at once. She ran to me and threw herself into my chest. Daddy, so quiet I almost missed it. Almost. But I heard it. The first time she'd called me that. In this life or the last. I pulled her in with my free arm. 4 of us, tangled together in a broken temple, crying. My shirt was soaked through with 3 kids' worth of tears. Worth it. Worth every wolf, every slap from Mom, every kicked out of bed, every meal squatting alone under the eaves. All of it, for this one word from this one girl. Daddy. I tied up the two criminals and dragged them toward the police station, one in each hand like garbage bags. The kids walked with me. Pamp Ann held Nyen's hand up front. Bao rode on my back, arms around my neck. After a while, a tiny voice from behind my ear. Dad, yeah, are you gonna hit me again? My feet stopped. My chest cracked open. Never. And anyone who hits you, I'll hit them. His little arms tightened around my neck. Up ahead, Pamp Ann didn't turn around, but I saw her shoulders relax, and her hand briefly let go of Nyen's, just for a second, before grabbing it again. And on her face, the smallest, quietest smile. She had a dad now. A real one. Finally, we reached town an hour later, and someone was calling my name from the side of the road. Hodder came barreling out of an alley drenched in sweat. BRO? The fish. We can't sell them. Dad's been surrounded by government inspectors. They're calling us criminals. Oh great. Because today wasn't complicated enough. What with the child kidnapping, the eye gouging, and the 3 crying kids on my back. Here's the problem. 1981 China had this thing called speculative profiteering laws. You can't just sell fish on the street like a free market capitalist. You have to give the government their cut first through the state purchasing system. We skipped that step because, oh I don't know, my children were being sold to a fat man in a temple. And who reported us? Take a wild guess. A thin-faced man, and A short guy with an extra finger on his right hand. Shibe and 6 fingers. Those absolute cockroaches. They couldn't beat me fishing, so they ran to the authorities like kindergartners tattling to the teacher. Teacher, Liu Bei is selling fish without paperwork. Pathetic beyond words. But first things first. I had a plan. I whispered instructions to Har, go stall the inspectors. Then I marched into the police station with 2 tied-up criminals and 3 rescued kids. Thud. Dropped the human traffickers on the floor. Officers, I caught these 2. One's a child kidnapper, one's his accomplice. They tried to sell my kids. The cops looked at the fat man. Looked at their wanted posters. Looked at the fat man again. Wait, is that Zhang Dicai? The nationally wanted kidnapper? He's been on the list for 2 years. Their eyes lit up like they'd just won the lottery. Career-making arrest. Delivered gift wrapped by a village farmer. 20 minutes later, the station chief, Zhou Jiangwo, sharp-eyed guy with perfect posture, came out personally. Liu Bei, you've done us a massive favor. What do you need? Actually, my people are being harassed by trade inspectors right now for selling fish without completing government purchase quotas first. The only reason we skipped the paperwork is because I was busy chasing child kidnappers. Could you maybe come explain that? Zhou grabbed his hat. Let's go. We arrived at the market to find chaos. 6 inspectors had Xuanzhu cornered. Har was physically clinging to one inspector's arm like a human handcuff, screaming, "It's not illegal." My bro was saving babies. "You can't take our fish. Let go. This is obstruction. Kill me first. I'd rather die." Xuanzhu was trying to peel his son off the inspector. The inspector was trying to peel Har off himself. Har was an unmovable barnacle of justice. Then Zhou stepped through the crowd in his police uniform with his chief's badge, and everyone froze. This man caught a nationally wanted human trafficker today. His children were kidnapped this morning. The fish sale was delayed because he was rescuing his kids. I'm personally vouching for him. The lead inspector put away his notebook so fast it practically teleported. If Chief Zhou vouches for him, we'll let it slide this time. They left. Har collapsed on the ground in a puddle of his own sweat. Xuanzhu's legs gave out, nearly hit the pavement. Xiao Bei, if you hadn't shown up, Har and I would be in a labor camp right now. How are you so smart? Sending Har to stall while you went to get the police chief as backup? One move, and the whole thing's solved. I kept some fish for home. Black fish for Chunyin, Christian carp for Wanxiu, turtles for cooking. Then went to the government purchasing office like a good citizen, completed the quota paperwork, got the official receipt, and then sold the rest through our regular Gaichin Shunzi. Total, 120 yuan. Split with Xuanzhu. He insisted on only taking 40 instead of 60 because you saved us from prison today, stubborn old man. I let him win that argument. Zhou gave me his personal phone number. Call me anytime you need help. That's a police chief's direct line. In 1981 rural China, that's basically a golden ticket. I was about to take the kids home when Li Dazhuang came striding over from across the market with someone behind him. A man in his 40s. Faded military green uniform, perfect posture, fountain pen in his breast pocket, sharp intelligent eyes scanning me up and down like he was evaluating livestock at an auction. Brother Liu Bei, this is Director Fan, the head of Big Lu Mountain Forestry Station. He came specifically looking for you. The head of the entire mountain forestry operation. Looking for me. A former village deadbeat who just learned to hunt 3 days ago. Why? The forestry director, an actual government official, wanted to hire me. Leopards had invaded the west slope of Big Lu Mountain. One almost ate a lumberjack. Another killed 3 guard dogs. 60 workers were too scared to go to work. Kill the leopards. Keep everything you hunt. And I'll owe you a personal favor. A favor. From the man who controls every piece of good timber on the mountain. I need wood to build my new house. This was basically a signed blank check. Deal. Xuanzhu pulled me aside panicking. Leopards aren't wild pigs. They're fast. One swipe and your guts are on the outside. Uncle. Fortune favors the bold. He looked into my eyes, saw something that made him shut up, and nodded. I told everyone to keep it secret. If my women found out I was hunting leopards, the leopards would be the least dangerous thing trying to kill me. Horror performed his signature move, selective deafness. Huh? What? I didn't hear anything. What leopards? Who said leopards? This idiot is a genius when he wants to be. I took everyone to the state restaurant for a proper meal. The kids had never seen so much food. Nian's drool nearly filled a swimming pool. Bao attacked his rice bowl like it owed him money. Even Pan Pan let me put a pig trotter in her bowl. Eat up, I said. She just nodded and chewed. No, bad man, no sharpened stick. Just, progress. Horror inhaled half a steamed bun in one bite. Cheeks inflated like a bullfrog. Then yelled at his dad. Eat dad. Get your strength up. So you can last longer when you fight mom tonight. Xuanzhu. 1,000-yard stare after lunch, I went shopping. Candy for all 3 kids. New clothes for Nian, red floral print. New jacket for Bao. Pan Pan picked corduroy pants and a white floral blouse. Then 4 dresses. Pale green for Yuhi, navy polka dot for Wanxiu, dark red for Chunyin, and a black floral jacket for Mom. Xuanzhu watched me hemorrhage money, and his eyes started twitching. We hired an ox cart home. Nian fell asleep in my arms. Bao dozed on my shoulder. Pan Pan sat across from us hugging her new clothes, looking at the fields, with the tiniest smile on her face. Beautiful moment. Peaceful ride. Nothing could ruin this, except, while we were gone, Shibei and Six Fingers had returned to the village and were holding a press conference under the big tree. Terrible news, everyone. Liu Bei and the Fan family got caught for illegal trading. Government inspectors seized everything. They're being sent to labor camp. 3 years minimum. Shibei put on his Oscar-worthy concerned face. I don't get along with Liu Bei, but we're all neighbors. It hurts to see him arrested. But the law is the law. Six Fingers was thumping his chest. I saw it with my own eyes. 6 inspectors surrounded them. Xuanzhu's legs gave out. If me and brother Shibei hadn't begged for mercy on their behalf, the village exploded. Gossip spread faster than fire. Someone ran to our house. Sister Day? Your son's been arrested. Mom dropped her cleaver. Chunyin was first out the door. Who said that? Shibei and 6 Fingers. She grabbed a butcher knife from the kitchen. I'm going to chop those lying dogs. Mom grabbed her wooden club. Wait for me. Wanxiu picked up a bamboo pole. Even sweet, timid Yuhi came out last and grabbed a thin stick, the smallest weapon, but she grabbed one. 4 women, armed, marching to war. Chunyin reached the tree first and slammed her knife into the stone stool 3 inches from Shibei's hand. He nearly fell over. Did you see my husband get arrested? With your own eyes? Mom was right behind her with the club. You two turtle EGGS. Spreading lies? I'll smash your mouths. But 6 Fingers played it smart. Used the law against them. Auntie, we're not the criminals here. But if you hit us with those weapons, that's assault. You'll go to prison. Mom's club froze midair. He had a point. Damn him. Shibei piled on with fake sympathy. We're trying to help you, Annie. Better to hear it from us than from the police knocking on your door. Some villagers even started agreeing. He does have a point. Liu Bei was a gambler. Maybe he is doing illegal stuff. My 4 women stood there, armed, furious, and completely outmaneuvered by 2 weasels who'd weaponized gossip. Chunyin was so angry she couldn't speak. Wanxiu was pale. Yuhi was trembling behind Mom. The whole village was watching. Then, from the village entrance, the sound of an ox cart stopping. Hata's voice boomed across the square. Shibe, 6 fingers. You ball-less wonders. Come out here so I can crush your nuts. Every head turned. There I was on the cart, Nien in one arm. Bao beside me. Pampan standing at the edge holding shopping bags. The cart piled with packages. Very much not in prison. Very much not arrested. Very much alive and carrying new clothes for everyone. 6 fingers' face went the color of spoiled milk. Impossible. They were arrested. Brother Shibe, what do we do now? Yes, Shibe? What do you do now? Your entire lie just rolled up to the village gate on an ox cart eating white rabbit candy. I was rolling back into the village on an ox cart like some kind of conquering hero, and the first thing I see is every single person looking at me like I just rose from the dead. Fan Shibe and Zhao 6 fingers. Their faces were priceless. You could practically hear their brains short-circuiting. These two clowns had reported me and Uncle Xuanzhu to the authorities for illegal trading, probably already popping champagne in their heads, and here I am, walking free, not a scratch on me, kids safe and sound. Surprise, idiots. My mom was the first one to charge at me like a heat-seeking missile. She's patting me down, flipping my collar, rolling up my sleeves, full airport security treatment. Are you hurt? Does it hurt? Let mommy see. Ma'am, I'm a grown man. But honestly, it felt pretty good. I told her I didn't lose a single hair, and she finally exhaled like she'd been holding her breath since yesterday. Then came the waterworks. Grandma scooped up Nien Nien and Lu Bao, squeezing them like she was trying to merge them into one child. Su Yueha came stumbling over and grabbed Nien Nien, and my little girl buried her face in her mom's chest and just let it all out. Zhao Chunyin grabbed Lu Bao's face and inspected him like a quality control inspector. Still coughing? Nope. Instant tears. Lin Wanxiu walked up to Pan Pan real quiet like. Pan Pan was still clutching that new outfit I bought her. My wife just brushed the hair from our daughter's forehead, and Pan Pan looked up and said, Mom, the little ones are okay. Wanxiu nodded. You're home. That's enough. Sometimes silence says more than 1,000 words, you know? Anyway, enough warm fuzzies. Time for business. I walked straight up to Fan Shibe. Didn't say a word at first. Just looked at him. Let the silence cook. Then I asked him, what's wrong? Disappointed? Surprised? Didn't expect this? He opened his mouth to answer and slap. Left cheek. Clean hit. Beautiful form, if I say so myself. Zhao 6 fingers lost his mind. Lu Bei, you're crazy. How dare you hit someone in front of the whole village? I swear I'll slap. Right cheek this time. Symmetry matters. Lu Bei, you hit my bro one more time, and I'll slap. Number 3. Lu Bei, I'll slap. Number 4. Now here's the thing. Fan Shibe, dumb as he is, figured out the pattern faster than 6 fingers did. Every time 6 fingers opened his mouth, my hand landed on his face. Beautiful cause and effect. Newton would have been proud. Zhao 6 fingers, shut your mouth. Fan Shibe screamed, tears practically flying. Every time you fart, I get slapped. Are you helping me or trying to kill me? If you really want to help, then fight him. Actually do something instead of just running your mouth. 6 fingers, bless his heart. Actually try to step up. I won't let you get hit for free. Lu Bei, I'll teach you and that's when my boy Ha Air came in clutch. Out of nowhere, and I mean nowhere, Ha Air lunged from the side and grabbed Zhao 6 fingers right by the crotch. Full 5-finger death grip. Monkey steals the peaches. Ancient technique. Maximum effectiveness. Crunch. Every single man in that crowd crossed his legs at the same time. I swear I heard a collective gasp that could have sucked all the oxygen out of the village. 6 fingers crumpled like a shrimp, rolling on the ground, howling, my EGGS. My eggs are broken. He pointed at Ha Air shaking like a leaf. I'm calling the police. They'll arrest you. You'll go to jail. I squatted down next to him, real calm, real friendly. Go ahead. Call them. The moment they show up, I'll tell them you two filed a false report against me and Uncle Xuanzhu. Defamation. Emotional distress for my whole family. Lost wages. I'll bill you for everything. Oh, and the 6 officers from the Trade Bureau who ran to the market for nothing? Wasting government resources. Guess who's getting charged? I patted Ha Air on the shoulder. Besides, Ha Air is officially the village idiot. Everyone knows it. A fool can commit murder and walk free. You think anyone's gonna prosecute him for squeezing your little grapes? Go ahead. Report it. I'll wait. Six Fingers' mouth was open, but nothing came out. Like a fish on land. Then Village Secretary Fan Sanyuan showed up. The crowd parted like the Red Sea. He strolled over in his gray mouse suit, cigarette dangling, smiling that smile that never quite reaches his eyes. 3 slaps. Bam, bam, bam. Straight across Six Fingers' face. You deserve that. Then he turned to Fanchi Bei. 3 more slaps. You absolute embarrassment. I'm your uncle, and you've dragged my name through the mud. He told them to apologize to us. Six Fingers whined. We're the ones who got hit. Why should we apologize? Secretary Fan didn't raise his voice. Just said, very casually, don't want to apologize? Fine. From now on, don't come to me for anything. Especially you, Fanchi Bei, don't call me uncle anymore. Fanchi Bei's whole body shook. See, his uncle being the village secretary was his only card. Without that, he's nobody. Just a loud guy with a swollen face. Sorry, he squeezed out like it physically hurt him. Six Fingers followed with a mumbled apology too. Secretary Fan turned to me with a warm smile. Xiao Bei, we're all family here. Just a misunderstanding. Come to me if you ever need anything. And just like that, the 2 stooges slunk away down the alley like beaten dogs. Back home, I started handing out the gifts. Gave Mom a nice dark pattern jacket and gray pants. She immediately scolded me, wasting money. We're saving for a house, while stroking the fabric 3 times and holding it up to her body to check the fit. Classic mom energy. Gave Wanchio her navy blue polka dot dress. She just said, thanks, in that quiet way of hers. Gave Yueha a pale green cotton dress, and she thanked me softly, adding, and thank you for bringing Nian Nian back. I told her Nian Nian is my daughter. What kind of father wouldn't save his own kid? Her eyelashes trembled. She bit her lip and said nothing else. Then I handed Chunyin her dark red khaki skirt. She opened her mouth. I could see the snarky comment forming, and for the first time in recorded history, nothing came out. She just took the skirt and walked inside without a single sharp word. Honestly, that was more unsettling than getting arrested. After the gifts, I gave Mom the fish and 2 soft-shell turtles for dinner, then pulled out the remaining 50 yuan and handed it to Wanchio. Our fingers touched for a second when I passed the money. She flinched a little, looked down at the cash, then up at me. Then she stood on her tiptoes, leaned close to my ear, and whispered, Tonight, my door won't be locked. I'll leave it open, just a crack. Well then, guess I'm not sleeping tonight. After Wanchio dropped that bombshell, I'll leave my door open a crack tonight. She just grabbed Pan Pan's hand and walked inside like she didn't just detonate a nuclear bomb in my brain. I stood there, frozen, like a statue someone forgot to put in a museum. You have to understand, this woman used to lock her door with 3 bolts when I came within 5 feet. I'm pretty sure she considered pushing a wardrobe against it too. And now she's leaving it open? For me? A crack is all I need, baby. A crack is plenty. My heart was doing backflips. My brain was already writing victory speeches. I was about to float into the courtyard on a cloud of pure joy when Yueha walked past me carrying Nian Nian. She walked slow, real slow, looked at me over her shoulder, opened her mouth like she wanted to say something, then closed it and went into her side room without a word. But the way she walked away, that gentle sway of her hips, good Lord. My Adam's apple bobbed so hard I'm surprised it didn't fly out of my throat. You just wait, Yueha, I thought. Tonight I conquer Wanchio. Tomorrow? You're next. I'll have you calling me. Smack. A rough, fish-scale-covered hand whacked the back of my head. I spun around. Mom, hands on her hips, looking at me like I was the dumbest creature she'd ever raised. What are you standing there daydreaming about? You think I've got 6 arms? Get in this kitchen and deal with these fish and turtles right now. Yes, ma'am. Coming. Right away. Fantasy over. Back to reality. I'm a fish-gutting machine now. Mom shoved the fish at me. Chunyin wants the black fish. Wanchio mentioned she wanted crucian carp soup. Get to it. Now. I'm not a doctor, but I know a thing or two. Black fish is good for the kidneys and the lower back, stamina food. Crucian carp helps with, let's say, milk production. Kidney boost plus milk boost. Was Mom trying to tell me something? Was this some kind of ancient mother-son fertility conspiracy? I didn't ask questions. My knife suddenly moved 3 times faster. I was gutting fish like a man possessed, splitting bellies, ripping out innards. I looked like I was training for the fish-gutting Olympics. Mom side-eyed me. You're awfully motivated today. Hee hee. I'll be motivated every day from now on. Less talking, More turtle flipping. Don't let it escape. Yes, ma'am. 2 hours later, that kitchen was a wonderland. Soft-shell turtle stew in a big clay pot. The broth thick and creamy white. Braised black fish cut into fat chunks and stacked beautifully in a big bowl, glazed in dark sauce. Crucian carp and tofu soup. Milky white with little green onion flowers floating on top. Gorgeous. Fresh greens picked straight from our garden. Plus leftover meat from lunch. 7 dishes total, covering the whole table. Nian Nian was the first one at the table, obviously. Little Goblin had her hands gripping the edge, nose working overtime, drool practically waterfalling into the bowls. Lu Bao dragged over a little stool and sat down all quiet and serious, but his eyes were ping-ponging between the fish and the turtle like he was watching a tennis match. Pan Pan sat next to her sister and wiped Nian Nian's drool. Big sister energy, always. Then Chun Yin walked out, and, hold on, she was wearing the dark red khaki skirt I bought her. The hem hit just below the knees, the waist cinched perfectly, showing off every curve of that tall figure. I only glanced once. My heart slammed. This woman's body is absolutely criminal. Next time I need to do a thorough inspection. Leave nothing unchecked. Everyone gathered at the table, all present and accounted for. Now, out of habit, I grabbed a bowl and turned toward the kitchen. See, ever since I came back to life in this body, every single meal has been the same. The kids didn't want me at the table, so I'd scoop some food and squat in the kitchen alone. Can't blame anyone but myself. The old Liu Bei was garbage. This is just me paying off his debt. But I'd barely taken one step when I heard it. Dad, I stopped. Was that? Pan Pan. Before I could turn around, 2 tiny hands grabbed my pants legs. I looked down. Nian Nian on my left. Lu Bao on my right. Both looking up at me with those big eyes. Daddy, eat, Nian Nian said. Dad, time to eat, Lu Bao echoed. Then Pan Pan walked up, took the bowl right out of my hands, and said, Dad, you've changed. You're not the bad person you used to be. A good dad should sit at the table and eat with us. She glanced back at Wanqiu. Wanqiu gave her a small nod. My nose burned. My eyes burned. Everything burned. I tilted my head back and forced the tears to retreat. Shoved them back down with pure willpower. I've been waiting for this moment since the day I woke up in this second life. And it finally came. Okay, I managed to say. I took Nian Nian's hand in one of mine, put my other hand on Lu Bao's shoulder, and walked to the table with all 3 kids. Sat down. Together. As a family. First time since I was reborn. Mom wiped her eyes with her sleeve. All right. Eat up before the food gets cold. I gave Nian Nian a piece of boneless fish. Ladled a bowl of turtle soup for Lu Bao. You two are still growing. Drink up, build those bones. Lu Bao nodded and started slurping that soup so loud you'd think he was trying to inhale the bowl. Then Pan Pan, my sweet, brave eldest, picked up a chunk of braised black fish with her chopsticks and put it in my bowl. Dad, you worked hard today. You eat too. I stared at that piece of fish in my bowl. I wanted to cry so bad. Like, ugly cry. Full waterworks. But I'm a man. Can't lose it in front of the kids. Gotta hold it together. Hold. It. Together. Chunyin ate in silence the whole time. Head down. Not a single snarky comment. But I noticed she refilled her bowl with black fish 3 times. Girl, I see you. You like that gift and you love that fish. You just won't admit it. After dinner, Nian Nian grabbed my hand. Daddy, play? Play what? Pan Pan answered. Eagle catches the chicks. Lu Bao stood up too. Didn't say anything, but his face screamed. Dad, please play with us. All right, Daddy's the eagle tonight. I rolled up my sleeves, spread my arms, hunched my back, and put on my most fearsome face. B-A-W-K, B-A-W-K, B-A-W-K. The eagle is here. H-H-H. Nian Nian shrieked and dove behind Pan Pan. Lu Bao was at the tail end, his little legs stumbling everywhere, until I scooped him up and lifted him over my head. Caught one. This little chick is getting stewed tonight. N-O-O, Lu Bao squirmed and thrashed, but he was smiling, full-on grinning. First time I'd ever seen this kid smile. Before, he'd always just shrink into himself around me. Shoulders hunched, head down, like a scared little turtle. The courtyard was filled with laughter. Wave after wave. Mom sat on the doorstep, watching us, quietly wiping tears from the corners of her eyes. This family finally has some hope. Wanqiu was washing dishes in the kitchen. She peeked through the window, saw the four of us laughing together, and the corner of her mouth curved up. Just a little. Yueha sat on a low stool outside her room, fanning herself slowly, but her eyes followed Nian Nian the whole time. A tiny smile on her lips too. And Chunyin? She locked herself in her room and was apparently trying on the white floral blouse I bought her, putting it on, taking it off, then switching to the red skirt, then back to the blouse, spinning in front of her bronze mirror again and again. Girl, just admit you like the clothes. It's okay. I won't tell anyone. Night fell. The three kids went asleep with Grandma. Nian Nian knocked out first, Lu Bao second, Pan Pan last. The courtyard went quiet. Yueha went to her side room. Wanchio went to the east wing. Chunyin went to the west wing. Around 8 o'clock, I crept out of my room like a ninja on a mission. First, I passed Chunyin's door. Her door wasn't fully closed. Just like last time, a crack. An invitation crack. Then I looked toward Wanchio's east wing. Her door wasn't fully closed either. She actually did it. She left me a crack. Just like she promised. I froze. Looked at Chunyin's door. Looked at Wanchio's door. Then, just for laughs, I glanced at Yueha's side room. Sealed. Shut. Fort Knox. Not a sliver of light. Not a millimeter of gap. That door was locked like it owed someone money. And now I was standing in the courtyard with the biggest dilemma of my entire life. Both lives combined. 2 doors. 2 cracks. 1 me. I don't have a clone jutsu. I can't split myself in half. I only have 1 pair of legs. So, whose bed do I sneak into? Wanchio or Chunyin? This is the hardest decision any man has ever had to make. Forget Sophie's choice. This is Liubei's choice, and the stakes have never been higher. I was standing in the courtyard like an idiot, trying to solve the hardest math problem of my life, and it had nothing to do with numbers. See, here's my situation. I've got 2 rooms, 2 women, 2 doors cracked open just enough to say, "Hey big boy, come on in," without actually saying it out loud. On the left, Zhao Chunyan. That woman washed her hair, slapped on face cream, put on the red dress I bought her, and was lying in bed sideways like a magazine model. Why sideways? Because apparently that's the make everything look bigger and kavya angle. Listen, I'm not complaining about the strategy. I'm just saying she was eye in position like a sniper waiting for her target. Me. I was the target. On the right, Lin Wanchio, my other wife. She took a bath, buttoned her blue polka dot dress all the way up to her chin like a proper lady, then lay flat on her back with her hands folded on her belly like she was waiting for a doctor's appointment. But don't let that fool you. Underneath all that fabric, trust me, the scenery was spectacular. Like ripe peaches in spring, if you catch my drift. Both of them were lying there thinking the exact same thing. Why hasn't this moron come in yet? And both of them had the exact same paranoid thought. He must be in the other one's room right now. Meanwhile, where was I? Standing in the middle of the yard like a donkey between 2 bales of hay, completely paralyzed. I couldn't pick a door. If I go left, the right gets mad. If I go right, the left explodes. This isn't a romantic choice. This is a bomb defusal scenario. So I did what any rational, intelligent man would do. I squatted down, grabbed 2 pieces of dried grass off the ground, and decided to settle my love life with a game of pick a straw. Long straw equals Wanchio. Short straw equals Chunyin. I closed my eyes, shuffled them behind my back, reached out to pull one. Bang, bang, bang. Someone was pounding on the front gate like the world was ending. Are you kidding me right now? I stomped over and yanked the gate open, ready to cuss somebody out, and there stood 4 men looking like they'd just seen a ghost. The forestry chief Fan my buddy Li Dazhuang, old Xuanju, and his son Horror, all of them drenched in sweat, faces white as paper. Liu Bei, someone's dead. Fan grabbed my arm so hard I thought he'd rip it off. Turns out one of their old loggers went to take a dump on the west slope and never came back. They went looking for him and found half of him, just the top half. Everything below the waist, gone. Guts everywhere. That leopard, the one I'd been hearing about, had eaten the man like a buffet and only finished the lower courses. Every worker at the camp packed their bags on the spot. Nobody wanted to be next on the menu. Now, old hunters have a rule. Once a beast tastes human flesh, it's over. You have to kill it. Because apparently we taste amazing, like some kind of gourmet delicacy to predators. And once they get a bite, they come back for seconds. The forest camp is only 10 miles from our village. Today it's eating loggers. Tomorrow it could be snacking on grandmas and kids. I'll do it, I said. Fan Er's eyes went red. The man looked like he was about to cry and hug me at the same time. Now here came the tricky part. I had to tell my wives I was leaving in the middle of the night to go hunt a man-eating leopard. Except I absolutely could not tell them it was a leopard, because Wanchio would chain me to the bed, and not in the fun way. So I walked up to Wanchio's door and knocked. You awake? I could practically hear her heart explode with excitement on the other side. She'd been waiting all night for this moment. Yes. What is it? She said, trying to sound casual and failing miserably. Forestry chief says wild boars are wrecking his lumber. Heard I'm a good shot. Wants me to come kill some pigs. He says I can keep all the meat. Great deal, right? Gotta run. Lock the door. Good night. Don't wait up. I turned to leave before she could argue. Creak. Her door opened. She came out looking worried, telling me wild boars are dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should come inside instead. Creak. The other door opened. Chunyin was leaning against her door frame, red dress hiked up above her knees, that red silk top showing off her collarbones in the moonlight, arms crossed, looking at me like I was the dumbest man alive. Oh, so you got lucky killing one pig, and now you think you're invincible? You want to die? Go ahead. You don't want to die? Then get over here. I've got some serious business to discuss with you. I raised an eyebrow. Serious business? You sure it's serious? I looked at my two wives standing there in the moonlight, and I swear my brain almost short-circuited. Chunyin was leaning on her doorframe like a movie poster, red dress pulled up, collarbones glowing under the moon, practically screaming, "You shall not pass. Unless it's into my room." And Wanchio? Standing there in her buttoned-up blue dress looking all proper and innocent, but her eyes were locked onto me like a heat-seeking missile. One was attacking openly. The other was blocking quietly. I'm telling you, if I stepped into either room tonight, the other woman would literally rip the roof off the house. All the goodwill I'd been building up since my rebirth? Gone. Poof. Zero. Factory reset. So I took a deep breath and played my trump card. You two are forgetting something, I said with a big smile. I need to build a house. You think we have enough money? We can barely afford the foundation. The forestry chief just said I can keep all the wild boar I kill. One pig is like 80 pounds of meat. That's dozens of yuan. Winter's coming. You want to freeze your butts off in this shack with the kids? Chuanyin's face froze mid-seduction. She wanted to argue, but what was she going to say? Forget the money. Come warm my blanket instead? Even She couldn't say that out loud. Wanchio tried one more time, but going into the mountains in the middle of the night. Relax. Old Xuanzhu, Horror, Dazhuang, plus a whole camp full of guys are going. It's not just me. I'll be fine. I grabbed my hunting rifle from the shed and headed for the gate. Go to sleep. Don't wait up. Good night. Then, creak, Mom's door opened. She was standing there in an old jacket, moonlight carving her wrinkles even deeper than usual. My heart sank. Oh no. If Mom tells me not to go, I'm done. I can't say no to Mom. Mom, don't try to stop me. The money. I'm not stopping you. She cut me off. Just be careful out there. I blinked. Then I grinned. Don't worry, Ma. Your son's built tough. I threw the rifle over my shoulder and walked out that gate like a boss. Behind me, World War III erupted immediately. Wanchio turned to Mom. Why didn't you stop him? It's dangerous. Chunyin jumped in before Mom could breathe. Oh, now you're worried? When I was trying to stop him, where were you? Hiding behind me, playing the good wife? Wanchio fired back. I was about to say something, but you burst out of your room first and hogged all the words. What was I supposed to do? Chunyin. So it's my fault now? Wanchio. And why did you come out anyway? He didn't knock on your door. Were you trying to drag him into your room again? I remind you, you two are divorced. That's called a moral conduct violation. If someone reports it, he gets punished. You trying to send him to prison? OUCH. Wanchio went for the throat. Chunyin went white, then red, then white again, because Wanchio was right. She didn't care about her own reputation, but her son Lu Bao? The kid just started calling me Dad. If I got in trouble because of some scandal. Both doors slammed shut. And Mom, that beautiful, sneaky old woman just stretched, yawned, and smiled to herself. What a show. See, in Mom's brain, the math was simple. The harder these two fight over her son, the more they love him. Once I build the new house and remarry all three wives, Each one pops out a grandson, and boom, the Liu family tree is thriving. She went to bed dreaming of fat grandbabies. Legend. Meanwhile, I was on a bumpy ox cart heading toward a man-eating leopard, and somehow the conversation turned into a relationship advice seminar. Fan the forestry chief, looked back at me. So, Liu Bei, those 3 ex-wives of yours, they're all still living under your roof. And nobody's killed anyone yet? How the hell do you manage that? Before I could answer, all 3 guys suddenly got very interested. Old Xuanzhu pretended to look at the moon, but his head was tilting my direction like a satellite dish. Dazhuang straight up turned his whole body around and sat there staring at me like a student on the first day of class. And that kid crawled across the cart, grabbed my sleeve, and practically yelled in my face. Big bro Liu, tell us the secret. Please. You gotta teach my dad. Every time he fights mom in bed, he loses. She sits on top of him and beats him up. It's so sad. Help him. Fan choked on his pipe smoke so hard I thought he was gonna die. Dazhuang slapped both hands over his mouth. Old Xuanzhu's eyebrows shot up like fireworks, and he raised his fist to smack his son. Are you even mine? Why do you keep telling people about my bedroom business? Horror shrank his neck. But it's true. True my ass. Xuanzhu looked like a volcano about to blow. But then he looked at Hott's big square face, identical to his own, and slowly lowered his fist. Fine. He's definitely mine. I'll let it slide. I was dying inside, holding back laughter so hard my abs were getting a workout. Finally, I cleared my throat and put on my serious face. All right, you want to know how to handle a woman? Make her so loyal she'd follow you off a cliff? You point east, she goes east. You point west, she goes west. For pairs of eyes locked onto me like I was about to reveal the meaning of life. Dazhuang literally stopped steering the cart. I held up 2 fingers. 2 tricks. That's all you need. What 2 tricks? All 4 of them shouted at the same time. I opened my mouth to speak. The cart hit a massive rock. The whole thing bucked like a rodeo bull. All 5 of us nearly flew off into the dirt. Once we grabbed hold of something, Horror was the first to recover. Bro, just tell us already. What are the 2 tricks? Alright, so Horror was practically vibrating. Bro, just tell us. What are the 2 tricks? I held up 1 finger, nice and slow. Gotta build the suspense. Trick number 1. Your gun skills have to be good. Dazhuang scratched his head like a confused puppy. Gun skills? What's that got to do with women? Everything, I said, patting my rifle. Good aim means good hunting. Good hunting means big money. Big money means you can give your woman a nice house, pretty dresses, fancy face cream. You put all that stuff in front of her and tell me, is she gonna leave you? She'll follow you like a puppy. Fan nodded like a wise old sage. Makes sense. When the belly's full, the heart behaves. Old Xuanzhu agreed too. Yep, solid logic. But Dazhuang, credit to this man, poked a hole right through my argument. Hold on, bro. You never used to hunt. You were broke. You gambled everything away. But your 3 wives still stayed with you. How do you explain that? Fan and Xuanzhu froze. Then both slowly turned their heads toward me like owls. He's got a point, Fan said, stroking his chin. I smiled. They walked right into my trap. I raised the 2nd finger. And that brings us to trick number 2. What is it? All 3 of them, same time. Your gun skills also have to be good. Dazhuang's brain crashed. That's the same thing. How is that different? I wagged my finger. Oh, it's very different, my friend. The first kind of gun skill is for outside the house. It's about hunting animals in the mountains. Making money. That's just a simple action verb. I paused for dramatic effect. But the second kind of gun skill? That's for inside the house. It's not about money. It's a stirring verb. You add that little stir to the action, and brother, you understand now, don't you? Dead silence on the cart. Then Fan eyes went wide. He pointed at me with his thumb up like I'd just invented fire. Holy sh. 1 gun, 2 uses. You absolute legend. I bowed down. Old Xuanzhu's face turned the color of a tomato. He sat there struggling for words for like 30 seconds before finally squeezing out. Liu Bei. That was the most eloquent thing I've ever heard in my life. Dazhuang was still standing there, mouth moving, mumbling, action verb. Stirring verb. Action. Stirring. Over and over like a broken radio. Then suddenly, slap. He smacked his own forehead so hard it echoed. Master, he literally bowed to me with both hands. You drive this cart so smoothly. Please accept my worship. I didn't even know what to say to that. And then there was Har. Poor, sweet, stupid Har. He was sitting at the back of the cart, pulling his own hair, looking like he was about to cry. Bro, what are you talking about? Outside. Inside. Action verb. Stirring verb. I don't understand a single word. I bit my lips so hard I almost drew blood. You should ask your dad about this one. Uncle Xuanju's got lots of experience. He'll teach you. My dad has experience? Hodder blinked. Then his face lit up like a light bulb, and he slapped his thigh. Oh, I get it. Xuanju's eyelids started twitching. What? Exactly. Do you think you understand? Hodder grinned proudly. Big bro means surrender your weapon and you won't be killed. And if you don't surrender, then it's like when mom beats you up and kicks you off the bed, right? I almost fell off the cart. Dazhuang spat out his water and collapsed laughing on the ox's back. Fan was holding his stomach, crying actual tears. Old Xuanju's face went from red to black to purple. His hand shot up, ready to slap his son into next week. Surrender my weapon? I'll surrender your. But then he looked at Hotter's big dumb face, the exact same square shape as his own, and his hand just hung there, in the air, for a really long time. He sighed the heaviest sigh I've ever heard a man produce. The things we endure for our own children. Then Xuanju scooted closer to me, cleared his throat, got all casual. So, Liu Bei, I have this. Friend. A friend? I said, raising an eyebrow. Sure you do, uncle. Yes. An old friend. He used to be a great hunter. Excellent aim. But lately, for some mysterious reason, his gun skills have declined significantly. You seem to know a lot about this subject. Got any tips? Not for me, of course. For my friend. So I can pass the message along. It's definitely not me. It's my friend. Dazhuang and Fan exchanged a look. They understood immediately. I understood too, obviously. I was about to give the old man some helpful advice when Har shoved his way over and shouted, Big bro. I also have a question. Xuanju glared at him. Adults are talking. Shut it. Har ignored him completely. Bro, I also have a friend. And my friend has a new dad who loves guns. But lately his new dad's aim has gotten really bad too. Can you help? And just to be clear, it's not my dad. It's my friend's new dad. Dazhuang exploded. Water flying everywhere. He collapsed onto the ox laughing so hard he couldn't breathe. Fan was weeping. Actual tears streaming down his face, holding his belly. I was choking. My stomach hurt so bad from laughing I couldn't stop coughing. This kid. This magnificent, brainless, accidentally savage kid. He just told the entire cart that his mom might have a side piece. To his dad's face. While trying to copy his dad's, I have a friend, excuse. And he didn't even realize what he said. Xuanju's face cycled through every color nature has ever invented. Red, black, purple, some colors that don't have names yet. He launched himself at Har. I'll skin you alive. Ow? Dad, why are you hitting me? You copied everything I said, but made it worse. Your friend's new dad? A person only has one dad. You're basically saying your mom cheated on me. Har hid behind my back, still mumbling. But I said it was my friend's new dad, not my new dad. Wait. His eyes went enormous and he slapped both hands over his mouth. Oh no. Does mom actually have a new fan? Huh. BR. Xuanju's roar echoed across the entire mountain. I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. The whole cart was howling with laughter. Then suddenly, the cart jerked to a stop, and we all nearly went flying face first into the dirt. Dazhuang, what the hell? Why'd you stop? It wasn't me who stopped, Dazhuang said. The ox stopped by itself. We all looked at the old yellow ox. That stubborn beast had planted all 4 hooves into the dirt like they were glued there. Wouldn't budge an inch. Now, here's the thing about animals. They don't just freeze up for no reason. When a cow says, nope, you better listen, because that cow knows something you don't. And that's when I saw them. 3 red dots appeared in my vision. Yeah, I should probably explain. Ever since my rebirth, I've got this weird ability. I can see danger like red dots on a radar screen. Deeper color means deadlier creature. The farthest I was light-colored, probably just a rabbit or something having a bad night. There were 2 dots closer by, one pale, one dark. The pale one was running. The dark one was chasing. That dark dot. Its color was even deeper than the wolves I'd fought before. Oh no, that's gotta be the leopard. Get your guns ready, I said. It's here. Less than 40 meters out. You should have seen how fast those rifles came off their shoulders. For guns out in 2 seconds flat. The forest went dead quiet. No bugs. No birds. Nothing. Just 5 guys breathing heavy and trying not to pee themselves. Well, for guys trying not to pee, I was actually feeling pretty focused. The dark red that was accelerating. The light one was fleeing. Both heading toward us. Old Xuanzhu grabbed my arm. Don't be stupid, kid. That thing ate a man today. We wait. Let it show itself. Fan agreed. Stay calm. Don't spook it. But I couldn't wait. Those dots were getting closer every second. And if I let the leopard pick the terms of engagement, we were all going to be in trouble. I shook off Xuanzhu's hand and crouched low, moving toward the southeast with my rifle up. This crazy kid, Xuanzhu hissed behind me. Horror, bless his idiot heart, actually stood up for me. If Big Bro's going, he's got a plan. Let's follow. Dazhuang jumped down first. Then Fanner. Xuanzhu swore at all of us, then climbed down too, because apparently he didn't want to explain to my mother how her son got eaten. 5 of us, crouching through the dark woods, stepping on rotting leaves. I led the way, gun pointed at the dark red dot. 30 seconds in, I raised my fist. Everyone dropped to a squat. 10 meters ahead, there it was. A small deer was sprinting for its life. And from the side, a yellow blur launched through the air. Moonlight caught it mid-flight. Black spots, thick tail, muscles like coiled steel. The leopard. It landed on the deer like a guided missile, jaws clamping down on the neck. The deer screamed, kicked a few times, and went limp. That's it, Fanner whispered, barely containing himself. That's the direction of the camp. That's got to be the one that killed old Yang. I nodded but didn't look at him. I didn't look at anyone. I was waiting. See, here's what most people don't know about big cats. They're ridiculously alert. You get one shot, miss or wound it, and congratulations. Now you've got an injured, furious leopard that knows exactly where you are. That's not a hunting trip anymore. That's a funeral appointment. The leopard was still clamping the deer's throat, waiting for it to suffocate. During this phase, it wouldn't move, but it'd still be watching everything around it. I needed to wait for it to start eating. That's the moment its guard drops. I raised my rifle, closed my left eye, lined up the sights right on the back of its skull. 10 meters. 0 wind. Bang. The shot ripped through the silence like thunder. Leaves shook off the trees. The leopard's body went stiff, jaw popped open, and it toppled sideways. Legs twitched twice. Done. 1 shot. 1 kill. Back of the head. Clean. Fanner grabbed my shoulder and shook me like a rag doll. Liu Bei. Beautiful shot. 1 bullet. You saved the whole camp. Then this man, this grown adult who runs a forestry operation, grabbed his gun and went sprinting toward the dead leopard. You kill my worker? Let me see how many teeth you've got. You bastard. Chief. Wait. Xuanzhu tried to stop him, but it was too late. Fanner was already squatting right next to the body. And that's when everything went sideways. The dead leopard jumped up. It wasn't dead. The sneaky son of a. It had used the deer as a shield. My bullet probably grazed it instead of hitting the brain. And this psycho predator had been playing possum, waiting for someone dumb enough to walk up close. Someone like Fanner. Fanner's face went completely white, eyes wide as dinner plates. Legs turned to jelly. Brain. Offline. He just stood there frozen as a 200-pound killing machine launched itself at his face. Dazhuang raised his gun, but his hands were shaking. Too close to Fanner. 1 bad shot, and he'd kill the man he was trying to save. Xuanzhu and Hunter aimed too, but same problem. Nobody could shoot without risking hitting the chief. Nobody except me. Bang. 2nd shot. Through the left ear, out the right eye socket. Blood, bone, and brain splattered all over Fanner's face. His eyelids. His lips. The leopard dropped at his feet like a sack of wet cement. Fanner stood there gasping for air like a fish on dry land for about 30 seconds straight. Xuanzhu and Dazhuang rushed over, shoved the leopard's body aside, and pulled him up. Chief. You okay? Dazhuang wiped the blood off his face with his sleeve. Fanner was still panting. Then he looked down at his pants. Am I? Are my pants dry? Dazhuang glanced down. Yeah? You're good. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. He looked over at me. Moonlight was reflecting off my rifle barrel, a thin trail of smoke still curling from the muzzle. I probably looked pretty cool, not gonna lie. His lips trembled for a long time before he managed 2 words. Thank you. Hunter came running over screaming with joy. Bro, the leopard's dead. For real this time. SHHH. I sprinted over and slapped my hand over his mouth. Because something was very wrong. Remember that third red dot? The faint one way out at 100+ meters? The one I'd written off as a harmless little critter? It was moving. Fast. And as it got closer, its color was getting darker. Way darker. Darker than the leopard I'd just killed. My stomach dropped. I'd made a mistake. The color depth wasn't just about how dangerous a creature was. It also changed with distance. Far away, even a monster looks pale. But up close. Everybody down, I hissed.